It's always been like, yep, there's 4 teams, and they all seem to always be in the top 4 of a major event. Potentially even, you know, remember last TI, for example, was a European final. So East Europe is following in the footsteps and really making their own mark on the map as well. If they can get to the upper bracket, that is a story for this VP roster. Because last year, they were all pretty much Division 2 players. They are so far away from what you look at Tier 1 teams. And now they've really built up a story that they can be one of those. They could definitely be one of those at the road to the international.
Most definitely here. I'm gonna tune back into the game here. I'm just gonna do a little update on like some itemization here. FNG is going straight Hex Rush on his position 5 Phoenix, and he is not that far away from it. Just 1,000 gold here until he has that. We got the Midas stream coming out for Seiyu. We're talking about greed here, right? Both games, they're playing for the late game. They're playing for moments like that. Even though they're winning the early game here, they're still playing in a fashion where they want to scale. Your Wraith King, he's got a Desolator on top of the armlet as well.
They're trying to find Kasane. They know that the bear's hitting, so Kasane is probably somewhere around the area to roll in, and they finally find him, but they also find Whitemon, and they've got 2 targets to take with the Shadow Step right on top of the Lone Drench. He's trying to TP over with the Ice Blast coming in. And it doesn't actually connect. He will be able to teleport home and stay alive, but the bear's not as lucky.
Yeah, he potentially could have died there if the Ice Blast hit, because he would not have healed from the fountain. He would have lost more HP because his bear would have died. Very fortunate there.
Fire Spirits, yeah, could have probably died.
Very, very fortunate, but still the name of the game for TSM right now, it's kind of just run away. And honestly, it's more like paranoia. I think Kasane at all stages is just a little bit paranoid that he's gonna die.
It's not shaped out to be a very fun game for him to play, so maybe TSM with the rest of their cores are able to step up. Ari is going to be able to pick up the shard from this Tormentor kill, while Roshan has also been taken by a Virtus Pro. Spectre almost ready with a Radiance, 500 gold short. So more trouble coming TSM's way.
Not what you want to see right now. I mean, then the scalability, if you just look at the Lifestealer, right? He is getting outscaled by the Wraith King. He's out farming him. They're building the same items, but you already have the Desolator online for the Wraith King, or Tomato's still going for it. We talked about how he can't man fight. Like, I'm struggling to find good points for TSM right now.
Okay, a bit of an attempt on a bait. Notice was just hanging around there waiting for the Ice Blast to land on top, and maybe somebody jumps him, but they jump after, and Braille's gonna get silenced right away. The puck's gone! Braille doesn't get to do anything. He does not get to play Dota, and by the looks of it, neither does the rest of TSM. They're trying to go for the run. Whitemon, they're taking so much damage from this Magnetize, an ultra kill for Squadix. They got nothing done. They got nothing right on TSM. Oh my goodness, how much damage is being dealt. That's 4K and a Tormentor for VP.
Nice and easy for them. If you look at the AoE damage potential that you have, you got Phoenix, right? You got that Earth Spirit, you've got the AA. There's a lot of AoE damage, right? And on the side of TSM, they go into this fight like single target Tusk, single target Dazzle, single target Lodred, single target Lifestealer. And they're using all this single target onto like this Wraith King. You'll see here, he's tanking all this damage. Like, I guess we'll do what we can here. And Bryle's trying to go in the backline, instantly gets silenced. So really well played by Squadix here on this Earth Spirit. He's been crushing it. But these team fights, with the way you draft on TSM, you had to have a good start. You needed to snowball the game. In a position like this, your comeback potentials, it's so difficult. I think you just have to split up and farm and just be greedy. Maybe this Lifestealer needs to turn this Mithril Hammer into a Maelstrom or something.
By the looks of it, he still doesn't have a Desolator, and he still won't be able to farm it as he's hunted down in the mid lane. And we talked about how strong a mid Earth Spirit can be early on with a godlike spree. He is 13-1-10 on Squadix at 22 minutes with that ultra kill that he scored from that last team fight. Almost a rampage, but not quite. But yep, Desolator, it's still in the works.
Still in the works. That's your boy Wraith King, who already has a Blink Dagger. Doesn't even have dreams of AC. AC coming soon. Hex, yeah, that's completed on Phoenix. So, and of course, you do have your Midas on the Ancient Apparition now. This feels like just like a taunting Midas.
You know, yeah, it does remind me of a lot of pubs. Like My Pos 5 AA wants to build a Midas so he can just chill at the back of the fights and, you know, get a casual Midas pop every now and then, and maybe get an Aghanim to amplify the old Ice Blast that used to be. Now you just get that lovely, lovely chilling touch. Kind of turned into a Dark Willow of sorts, as Ari going to get hunted down by VP. But at the same time, yeah, he's like, I'm just going to go for it. You know, that's the Sayush way of playing Dota.
Yeah, these are like the saddest games.
Oh, Tomato. Not again.
Yeah, that's a Hex, by the way. Position 5 Phoenix has a Hex at 20 minutes. Yeah, okay, so these are the games I was going to say. Whitemon, he's probably going to go down here too, most likely, as he has no TP. He's just going to stun up. Yep. And that's the thing too. Noticed he also went for the 26 skeleton attack damage taunt instead of the extra stun duration. He just really is feeling like this is the greediest I've ever seen a team be, and they're getting away with it. Literally getting away with murder here.
And they are already on the high ground, finishing off a potential first lane of Rax. Yes, and they have their heroes respawning shortly, but the entire VP roster, they are here. They're spread it out, making sure the waves are pushing. Squadix also clears out the bottom wave, which Kasane, you know, he's just farming the jungle right now. He's not even pushing the lane, as they will take a mid lane of Rax secured 24 minutes in. It does look like they're not done yet. They have a creep wave at the tier 2. Ice Blast bottom. They're actually targeting Kasane.
They see him. There's a Hex.
His worries, his problems aren't over yet. Let's get the fear off in time. No Ice Blast to take, but still is dead. Death number 6 is a certainty for Kasane. Kurtic, he's toying around with him a little bit there, but that's going to be kill number 9, and another dominating streak being built up on the Spectre.
Virtus Pro just playing with their food here, and TSM doing everything that they can do. It just, unfortunately, in this moment, there's not a lot that can be done. I think they do just have to just sit in base, kind of split push what they can. Maybe the answer is going to be summon Fest Bomb, but we just now finished our Desolator at 25 minutes into the game. Poor Tomato here just doesn't have a game whatsoever. He's the lowest farmed core in the game. Phoenix is getting close to having the same net worth as him. So even if they do using a Fest Bomb, I'm not sure who they can kill, but I guess it has to be the AA. If they can manage to kill the AA or the Phoenix before they get spells off, maybe that's how you shape up one of these team fights here.
It's an opening for sure, and Bryl's been trying. We talked about the puck. That's a great backline snipe, but the moment he shows up, Squadix has been there to instantly silence the puck, so you don't really have any defensive item. They don't have a single defensive item to even dispel at this point any silence that is applied onto Bryl's puck. So no Lotus Orbs, no other proper saving abilities. Maybe just the Dazzle has to instantly shallow grave. Okay, now you can go in so you don't die. But that's not the way you really want to play this one. And he's also forced out right away. So at this current pace, Virtus Pro is Virtus Ploing TSM.
They are. Maybe they can hope for Notice to actually accidentally double click his ultimate and kill himself here. So that will give him an avenue of maybe taking this fight here. Other than that,
maybe we see a fight from TSM after all. Infest Bomb is applied for the puck, so let's see if he can get to the back line and do some damage. Melee's already down. Sayush is there. FNG is right there, but they read. The Hex is onto the puck already. His surprise, it's lost. The silence is there, and the target is Ari. Tusk is gonna go down, and the puck's about to fall as well. Squadix with the roll and trying to get the connection there. Magnetized right on top of the puck, and he's still going. He's gonna go all the way, and he's gonna score a home run by the looks of it. Prowl still going to get away with the Magnetize, and finally, this Shaker, well, I mean, the Earth Spirit is definitely shaking the ground here, forcing Bryle away.
And that was like the scariest Uber ride of Tomato's life there, just the entire time just sitting in the puck. Like, I hope you got this, Bryle, because I don't want to come out of this infest whatsoever. This fight does not look good. And he continues to stay inside the puck here. They're looking for another play here. To see Kiritich in the top lane here. Are they going to chase him down? Can you even kill him if you make this play? We're about to find out.
Well, an attempt is being made.
We might, yeah. They found him. What can you do here?
Manta Blade Mail, 1v2. And they're making it work. Notice is killing Whitemon at the same time. Kiritich is jumping back and forth. This version is hurting, and Tomato is dying, and Tomato is dead, and Bryle is dead. He just 1v2'd them, and Ari does the cheap shot to secure the kill. But holy, this man, he just 1v2'd them as a Spectre. at 28 minutes.
Oh, man.
They were the ones to initiate on him, and GG's called out. I'm sorry to say, Fear, but it is East Europe 2, North America 0, 2 times in a row today.
What can you do? The better team has won today. It is what it is. I'm a big fan of competitive Dota, and this, I mean, it wasn't very competitive, honestly, this game, but however, the teams and the performance by Virtus Pro in this particular series was really good. I think TSM, they tried to cheese it a little bit with a Dazzle again, went really heavy all in on the laning stage, but it just didn't work out for them. They lost the lanes when they should have won it. They went for a snowball strategy 2 times in a row, got outscaled really hard. Maybe they take a quick look after this loss here before going into the lower bracket and reevaluate their playstyle. I think they're trying to play way too fast. They need to slow down, chill, take a breather, maybe build a couple Midases, play more for the late game. It's pretty strong, scaling is strong, make it happen.
Also, you got to give credit to Virtus Pro as well for some ingenuity, pulling off that Wraith King into the off lane. Maybe TSM thought that if they put the Lone Druid up against the carrier Wraith King, they've got themselves a good position, but ended up going into the off lane after all for Noticed. And Squadix had a beautiful, beautiful game. And we're going to head over to Slacks and see what he has to say.
Thank you so much, everybody. Kurosaki, my friend. Hello, congratulations. They're coming out from their win. Hello, well done.
No Inglando, no Inglando.
No? Just one Inglando for me?
Only one Inglando.
Oh, come on. All right. They are hiding like animals. They're hiding in the corners like hamsters. Hello, guys. Congratulations. How are you feeling about the win?
We're happy. We're happy. We didn't play well first map, but then second, yeah, we definitely smashed them.
Oh, okay. Well, were you expecting to do so well?
No.
No, really?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, I was kind of expecting. They're laughing over there. It seems like spirits are pretty high, man. What are you guys doing now?
Nothing.
Okay, fantastic. I'm
talking to you.
Well, yeah, I know you're talking to me.
Faster.
We're done. We're done. I'm going to get one word from each one. Be free. Be free. Uh-oh, my microphone's stuck on a door. No problem. One word. One word. Just one word. Okay, great.
All good, brother.
All good, brother. All right, fantastic. How about over here? Hello. One word. Oh, yeah, there we go. Hello. You had the 2-hand. Hold on, hold this. Great. And then we'll do that. Very good. One word.
Very good.
Very good is how they're feeling. Thank you so much. All right, back to you guys over at the, where the hell you are? The booth? All right, where are you guys at? The couch. Good couch.
Yeah, he eventually found the word there. Maybe we only need one word from Slacks next time, but it was a very great interview there. Nice to know that only one English speaker on VP, but spirits still high. Very good, brother.
They all know how to do some good nodding.
And handshaking. I saw that one. The nodding, the handshaking. But they're feeling good. They're getting a 2-0. They're with their other Eastern European team, Spirit Brothers, up there in the upper bracket now. So massive props to Virtus Pro. They talked about how rough game 1 was for themselves, but game 2, it was just all an absolute landslide. They had everything, I'd even say, from the laning phase in their favor.
They really got I think a great draft. Like obviously Spectre's been comfort pick for them, but then that last kind of pick Earth Spirit to counter the Puck mid, it really just set them up for success. Puck didn't have a great game, couldn't really anytime Puck did rotate, which Brawl had to do, Earth Spirit was there to meet him. Like that first bottom fight where the Earth Spirit has an arcane rune, completely destroyed them, turned the fight around on them. Spectre didn't really get pressure that hard in the lane, which was maybe the biggest surprise. It felt like this Lone Druid lane should have done better against Spectre. In fact, the Lone Druid got killed by the Spectre very early on, and you just can't afford to give Spectre a good start in a game like this.
Felt like maybe it was a little bit of frantic gameplay from TSM. They were trying to be all over the map, trying to make something happen for themselves. But at least when it comes to this draft, there could have been a lot of flex. They had that Dazzle, they had that Lone Druid. We didn't know what was going mid, what was going off lane. Would you have changed much around their winter? Or you think that, yeah, their draft kind of works out and really it's the main focus of they didn't know where they were going to be on the map?
I don't like to blame the draft when the execution is so bad, you know. It's difficult to talk about the draft in that manner. I always try to focus on what can we do well first, you know. I don't like to go to the draft, we could have just picked something else to avoid this, you know, when people are making mistakes left, right, center. And I feel like they were just running around.
Your turn to ban. Five seconds remaining. 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Your turn to pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
From the deeps, I rise.
Friends, I think we can agree that this one is in the bag.
To the
Prepare for battle.
patrolling. Yes. Yes. I go.
Thirty seconds to battle.
Guard well. It's in the bag! Keep a lookout.
The battle begins.
The deep ones send me forth to the fight. Look to the foe. No delay. I rush to defend. On guard. Yes. Attack. I'm under attack. Patrolling. Onward. Yes. After them. Vigilance. Deep ones guide me. Cowards. I go. Slither. No mercy. In over your head. To the fight. Deep ones guide me. First blood. First blood. Bag and tag. Yes. On their tail. Look to the foe. Yes. I go. No delay. Beautiful. Guard well. Patrolling. I give no quarter. Slither. I'm under attack. Onward. I sound the depths. Keep a lookout. Face me. I rush to defend. I'm on to you. Yes. Onward. Vigilant. To the fight. In over your head. I rush to defend. Look to the foe. Guard well. Yes. Yes. Face off. No delay. Patrolling. Well. I go. On their tail. Slither. Keep a lookout. Yes. I'm under attack. I rush Patrolling.
Dire structures are fortified.
Keep a lookout. After them. Guard well. Deep ones guide me.
That should help.
Yes. Yes. Onward. I go. Slither. I'm on to you. No mercy. You're in deep water. Yes. To the fight. Cowards. You get nothing. No delay. Look
Dire's
to the
courier
foe.
has been killed.
Yes. I'll treasure this. Yeah. You're in deep water. I'm under attack. You let your god. Deep ones guide me into the black seas of infinity.
Your top tower is under attack.
Guard well. Look to the foe. On their tail. I rush to defend. No delay. Keep a lookout. Attack.
Your bottom tower is under attack. Your bottom tower is under attack.
I go.
Your bottom tower is under attack.
So with you.
Your bottom tower has fallen.
Onward. Cowards.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Face me. Yes. Slither.
Your middle tower is under attack.
Yes.
Your
You
middle
won't
tower is under
escape.
attack.
To the fight. Patrolling. Yes. I go. Treasure for the deeps. Yes. I'm on to you. On fire. Deep ones guide me. Slither. To the fight. It's not time yet.
Your top tower is under attack.
A lapse in vigilance. Patrolling.
Your middle tower is under attack.
Keep a lookout. Guard
Your middle tower
well.
is under attack.
In overhead. Attack. Bountiful. In overhead. Look to the foe. No delay. Moving up. I rush to defend. Yes. Deep ones guide me. I'm not ready. I'll do it for a thin. To the fight. Onward. You're in deep water. No delay. Look to the foe. I go. Not yet. Guard well. Slither. Keep a lookout. Yes. Yes. No delay. Deep ones guide me. The deep ones send me forth. I rush to defend. It's not time. I'm on to you. Keep a lookout. To the fight. Slither.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Guard well. Vigilance. Shiny as souls. Yes. Yes. Look to the foe. Not yet. On their tail. Patrol.
Your middle tower is under attack.
After them. Onward.
Enemy's middle tower has fallen.
It's not time yet. Not yet. Oh. Yes. It's not time yet. No delay. Slither. Face me. Look to the
Radiant
foe.
structures are fortified. Dire's structures are fortified.
Deep ones guide me.
Your middle tower has fallen.
I go. Patrolling. I'm not. Look there. My strength. After them.
Your top tower is under attack.
Tip the scale. Keep a lookout.
The enemy's bottom tower has
To the
fallen.
fight. In obedience you. You're in deep water. No mercy. I'll do it for a fin. I rush to defend. On their tail. Guard well. No delay. Keep a lookout. Onward. Vigilant.
The enemy's bottom tower has fallen.
Attack. I'll treasure this. A soldier's fortune. In over your head. Yes. On their team. Under attack. We're out of your depth. Double kill. Oh. To the fight. No stopping me. Slither. It's not time. Patrolling. Deep ones guide me. I rush to defend. Guard well. Look to the foe. No mana. Yes. Yes. Vigilance.
The enemy's top tower has fallen.
Look to the foe. Yes. Slither. Deep ones guide me.
Dire's structures are fortified.
To the fight. Guard well. Not yet. Oh. Patrolling. ready. I go.
Triple kill!
I rush to defend. My power grows. Onward. Patrolling. No delay. Yes. 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 I rush to defend. Guard well. Slither. I go. To the fight. Tip the scales. Keep a lookout. Onward.
The enemy's middle tower has fallen.
Once guide me. I welcome the abyss.
The enemy's middle barracks has fallen. From lightless gulfs, I return. Look to the foe. Yes. To the deeps with you. Look to the foe. A soldier's fortune. In over your head. Onward. I
go. Patrolling. To the fight. Guard well. I rush to defend. No delay.
Your top tower is under attack.
Not yet. I'm not ready. I'm altered. It's not time yet. On there.
Your shrine has fallen to the radiant.
Yes. I'm under attack. Yes. Deep ones guide me. Yeah. You're in deep water.
Dire's courier has been killed.
After them. Slither. Keep a lookout. Look to the foe. I go.
You were doing very well. I'm very proud of you.
The enemy's bottom tower has fallen. The enemy's bottom barracks has fallen.
Well. To the fight. Face me. My strength increases.
effective HP. That is full out. Put them over at like 3,800 effective HP. Which for an Earth Spirit 24 minutes into the game makes you feel pretty invincible, as he's also almost got this heart. So, shows up on your screen for a second, the Primal Beast pick win rate, but they go in with the Pulverize and the quick damage with a Bedlam on top of this Zai Primal Beast. Doesn't even need to use the beak.
And this should secure them. Roche, Primal Beast having this level 50.
It's quite up there for Liquid, and they are going to find Matthew at the end of the day. Okay, gets a kill there. Liquid with another one under their belt. Look bottom, Ice Blast coming in, and this is going to be another at top, bottom.
You know that things are not going well for you if you're losing heroes in the bottom, in the top lane. They're also holding the Aegis. Seems like Team Liquid might be ready to go
Tower is under attack.
and take out these last tier 2 towers. Not sure if they want to like commit to a high ground. There's nothing in the bottom, but if they find another opening, they might go for it. Now look at this magical damage coming out. It's mostly magical. Everything except Terrorblade. And we still haven't seen Mickey hit heroes because he's been jungling for the good like 15 minutes pretty much. And something that we did mention, like Terrorblade, he is also not afraid to get Scotty, become super tanky. He's sitting at 34 armor at the moment. And another hero that kind of likes to buy MKB. Another combo.
Yeah, look at C Smile forced to roll out. He does survive. I mean, that's something. Now they're going to go to the swamp. They've got themselves the call. Zai's caught. Terrorize comes in, but it's not going to be enough to save the Primal Beast. Battle Hunger onto Earth Spirit, but Nisha makes the roll up onto the high ground and escapes the grasp of EG, who, you know, kind of use a lot just to get that kill. Those BKB is going to be on cooldown now if Liquid maybe attempt with the next Metamorphosis to take a fight soon after. But without Zai at the moment, they'll probably stay at their distance.
AG probably happy with the kills that they got, even though they traded 2 9-second BKBs. They still managed to get a kill, and also Pakaz getting last hit, getting closer to that level 20 talent, as he has a ton of damage coming out. Also finding a tier 3 token. Let's see what he's gonna get from it. Elven Tunic is afraid of Terrorblade, his right clicks before he gets MKB.
That BKB now has that Basher. Deso, only 2 charges on it. It was a later Deso after he went Battle Fury BKB into the Desolator.
Yeah, it wasn't Deso now, it was Deso later. That's why. They're still gonna go and try to take this tier 1 tower top. A couple of minutes left on that Aegis.
What for now?
Bramble Maze. Gonna connect.
They're still going. They want Panda. They'll get themselves the Pulverize and the kill. Mickey with another. And do they look even further? They do. See Smile actually taking a lot of damage. The roll from Nisha all the way in. Stifling dagger. Can he get that kill though? Uh-oh. They'll take out C Smile. Down goes Matthew. Pakaz not doing enough damage. He doesn't have enough health either, or help.
Nisha.
Blink in, call on a Nisha.
Into tier 4s, but this heart regeneration, Dragon Scale, keeping him alive. They're super tanky, and something that we did mention is Pangler, he's never gonna feel too comfortable rolling on the top of Terrorblade. If he used meta, like he can just shred him. So needs to be careful. This is not also Pangler that does have Lincoln Sphere, Aghanim Scepter. It's a Blink Dagger for now, a Dandelion Amulet, so a little bit of a magic resistance, but still physical damage coming out from Terrorblade is insane. He's having his MKB finish, going into BKB next, but they're still gonna respect this high ground defense from EG.
Because Divine Rapier queued up.
It's a bit of an early one.
Let's see if he can make something happen with it. Ooh,
Got the
call,
Blade Mail off again.
terrorize. Now Ice Blast coming in. BKB's gonna wear out in just a moment from Whisper, but they've got the bash. They'll have the right clicks. Matthew is the one who gets that kill. He'll pick up a good 699.
Some good initiations from Whisper, finding Nisha 2 times in a row, blocking his roll as well. Going into Refresher next on Axe. They feel like they lack this control, so with Refresher you will have 2 BKB charges, 2 calls available where they can actually burst people down. It's all it takes, Phantom Assassin, someone to hold them in place. I want to see if Pakaz actually wants to commit to this Divine Rapier. It's a bit of the riskier side. This is like 30 minutes we're talking about.
Right. I would say maybe you want one more item before that, something that makes you more survivable in a fight like this, but he's been trying to pick off and get in and out of these fights.
This is also pre-Shard, pre-Aghanim Scepter, even though like Aghanim Scepter got nerfed relatively heavy in the previous patch. We'll see if Pakaz wants to commit to it. Might buy Relic after selling Raid Band and then like have potential Nullifier if he doesn't want it.
What's the is it just a straightforward, like you want Whisper and have Pakaz to get the damage out as the game plan for EG? Like, what's a more detailed look for them? As you know, they are starting to get down by quite a bit. It's 9,000 now, but with one more fight, it could be quite a formidable deficit on them. Oh, overgrowth from Matthew holding them in place. And now they're starting to come over. They've got the call, they have the Ice Blast, but it's not enough of a deterrent. Pakaz has the kill. Ghost Scepter used by Insania. You know, I asked for the details, but EG would rather show me because Insania's dead. 2 heroes gone. They have buyback available on the Ancient Apparition. They go to the Magnetize as well as the Shield Kinetic. They're looking for the roll on a Whisper. That's a kick. That's a kill onto Whisper. Down goes the Axe. They've got control of the Phantom Assassin with the BKB trying to TP out. Terrorize thrown, but it's not going to matter with the close. BKB lasting a second long enough.
Panda? Do you have any reveal? Insania? Nothing around him, but
no.
Sai's gonna find him.
Ambitious.
Insania used buyback in that one. Very, very greedy Manta from Terrorblade. All the heroes were missing. He pops the Manta style to farm, and they catch him. The power of Treant Protector being Invis holding the gem, and then he couldn't get out of Overgrowth. Still no BKB on him.
They see him.
That's gem. This is massive. So they're going to be able to devord and also see this annoying Treant Protector who just set things up to kill Terrorblade.
And that's going to mean that they need to find a pickoff in a much harder way than just having Matthew in deep to get that gem back. Insania's going to be holding it, but we'll see if he continues to hold that. Otherwise, maybe they get a pickoff on the Ancient Apparition to get that gem back in their hands.
And Pakaz, after seeing Yule Scepter, Ghost Scepter, Glimmer Capes, Aeon Disc, also on Dark Willow, he's gonna change his mind and go for Nullifier. Yeah, it makes a lot more sense. Because if you commit to Divine Rapier, this is also a nice play. Like he still got stunned by Onslaught, but Boxy also very quick to find him with the Yule Scepter. Matthew with the smile.
Almost. So they're gonna put pressure on over bottom. Boxy, he's got Yules, like you said, has the Aeon Disc to survive. With the Nullifier now in the hands of the Phantom Assassin, maybe they can take that away and clean up the Dark Will, who's got that Veil as well, but landing a good Terrorize and or having the Bedlam on top of Zai really does add to the fight for them, so taking Dark Will out might be a bit of a priority going forward. We'll see how they fight, we'll see how they hold, because it's also not that easy, like you said, for Matthew, because of the fact that they've got the gem in the hands of Liquid. And that's being held by Boxy at the moment. Which we'll see how much that works, because it's not like Dark Willow is deep into the fights, right? Like, he's usually sitting on the back.
Yeah, you want to keep the distance. Zai might be the one holding it, but seems like he's prioritizing having Soul Ring as his mana tool, because Primal Beast, he does consume a lot of mana, especially when there's nothing happening. You want to be farming those camps as fast as possible and then getting out of trouble.
So, after that fight, Things quieting down a little bit for Liquid, but they are also setting up for the next Rosh. They're not trying to lose anybody before this Roshan respawns, and Mickey out for a second, but back in, sees that Rosh is available, and this should favor Liquid, but they're not taking it immediately, just have maybe looking to see if EG come their way.
I don't think EG is going to defend this one. Because all three lanes are pushed in. Terrorblade causing a lot of problems. They don't have that one hero who deals well with TB illusion. Sometimes you'll see like supports picking up some Dagon, but they're really not close. Matthew again.
Spotted, yeah.
Well, he already lost his gem, so can't lose it twice.
That's true. Now they kind of know where the side of Liquid is, but like you said, they're not going to be defending this one. They're trying to get their next items or so, and Pangolier trying to get into the Octarine core. You know, he's 500 gold away from that. Because I believe finished he has the Abyssal Blade, so he's going to have that extra little touch of lockdown, and he's got a double damage now bottled up. So that could be a different
taking fight with that.
Panda in a rough spot. Yules from the Dark Willow. They have the Bedlam, a Shadow Realm Strike from Boxy to get the kill on a Panda, so now both supports are dead on EG. Right off that Rosh.
Having a hard time pushing the high ground. Like one swap, one call from Axe could cause a lot of issues. And also you can't deal chip damage to the towers because of living armor.
It does not make it easy to just put a little bit of chip damage on. But this top tier 3 not being healed at the moment. 1,000 health. Maybe. He's working on mid. Okay. Matthew out far. He's going Axe, so...
No, he's going Midas. Midas is being delivered on Courier. 35-minute recovery Midas.
So he ended up getting the blink before the Midas, too. When he had that queued up originally, I thought maybe he'd go Midas first, but it ends up going into the blink dagger, then the Midas, which now at 35 minutes, if they can hold, might pay itself off, but we'll see.
They already used the glyph. Terrorblade meta still up and running for another good 30 seconds. EG gonna smoke, double damage. Popped by Pakaz, level 23 Phantom Assassin with Nullifier, full Abyssal Blade, and now has Divine Rapier through that.
There's the swap, Stifling Dagger. They're gonna look at trying to get the kill here out of the Terrorblade. They've got the Ice Blast coming in. That's gonna land on the 3 of these heroes. They've got Mickey low, but can they get the kill? They'll take out his first fight. Pakaz, Whisper, and Panda all gone. Pakaz bought out. He does not have buyback. They got the kill on the Terrorblade, but this is terrible as they'll lose Smile.
This might be the game. Insania with some like good plays, landing Ice Blast, I believe, on pretty much all of them, and also Zai jumping in, Pulverize, grabbing the target, and this might be the game. 65 seconds with no Phantom Assassin. You're gonna be playing against Mega Creeps, or if they're gonna fish, see if Pakaz does have buyback. Uh-oh, this is very dangerous territory for EG. They're going for the throne.
Can you potentially make a move here, trying to throw these magic missiles out with the shard to stun up a couple? But they're still going for the tier 4s. You have Matthew to try and give it living armor to hold on longer, but that's not working out right now. And Whisper, he's gonna start farming, maybe thinking that they can hold. He left the base. He's out of there. Now they've got the swap. Oh. Fountain's not going to do enough. They've got the roll, they've got the glyph, but they still call GG. And that will be game 1 going the way of Team Liquid over Evil Geniuses.
Oof. Team Liquid getting the jump and getting the kill on Phantom Assassin, who invested everything. This was the best shot that EG had, pretty much, because Phantom Assassin had double damage. They managed to burst Terrorblade, but he was still holding the Aegis. Even without Aegis, I still feel, you know, that would be a really good fight for Liquid. EG, a bit on the slower side. Like, we've seen some teams picking up this Treant Protector plus Vengeful Spirit duo and then lacking damage. I think Liquid utilized this perfectly, finding the perfect pick pretty much for the game. All these 3 heroes, they don't really do much, and then they picked Terrorblade, put this Earth Spirit on the mid lane and also having Primal Beast in the bottom lane, Zai carrying pretty hard for the first like 25-30 minutes of the game. He was all over the place, being on top of the network, and both supports as well off Liquid going for these pickoffs. They show up, and we gotta give credit to itemization. Veil of Discord on Boxy synergizes nicely with Primal Beast and also Ancient Apparition. Second ability gives them a ton of damage. We saw in a couple of these fights how quickly they melt.
Yeah, it was really good from Liquid, so they keep their winning ways going, and well, they're now up 1-0 over Evil Geniuses. To break it down further for you, we've got the panel, so guys, take it away.
Thank you very much, Bcop and Lacoste, for that incredible game of Team Liquid versus Evil Geniuses. Unfortunately for EG fans, Team Liquid continues the winning streak up against the South American juggernauts and now put themselves in a great position to enter the playoffs in an upper bracket seed. I'm joined on panel by Winter, by Lizard. Liz, first time you've been on camera today. How are you feeling, fam? What's up?
Yeah, feeling great. Took a little walk this early morning around Seattle. Met some Dota fans in the city, and I'm right on time for the good stuff.
Right on time for the good stuff. Unfortunately, Winter, it wasn't good stuff necessarily from EG all around, but it didn't look so bad at the beginning. Where do you think the game started to fall apart for them and Liquid starting to take control?
I mean, when their heroes can't really do enough damage, because their overall lineup composition, like the supports, Venge, Trian, they don't really do much in the early game. Like the Axe and the Pango, they are the only heroes that are kind of doing some damage compared, if you're comparing it to the Earth Spirit and Primal Beast on Liquid. Those two heroes, when they're roaming around, they are far more scary, you know. If you're Axe, you kind of need like some Skywrath hero or Dark Widow with you, you don't really want to be roaming with a Venge or a Treant Protector.
Yeah. And it's not only the supports, right? Like the Venge and the Treant obviously don't do anything, but with who can they play and make stuff happen? Like what are the combinations that EG can be successful with? Like even 3 heroes, which 3 heroes do you combo in to get kills fast enough and get away with murder? Like you can't. On Team Liquid, Dark Willow plus any of the cores you've got to kill, while TB is just farming, chilling. Ancient Apparition plus any of the cores and he's got to kill. It doesn't even have to be 3 heroes, right? So you can just chill and farm, and with the TB that is, while your team does all the work, which is exactly what happened here.
Yeah, they are relying on the PA way too much, you know, in this draft. Like, sure, you know, if you get to late game when the PA has a bunch of items, but if the game doesn't really get to that point, then I feel like it's really difficult for them to play the map in the early to mid game. You know, I think C-Smile did an amazing job in the early game with his Pango, but eventually
I cannot believe my ears. Praising C-Smile. All right, I've seen it. What happened this morning while I was gone? This is a reformed man. I saw the chat saying something about Winter and Arteezy. Now he's praising C-Smile. This is a reformed man.
I mean, the man did a good job, you know, on his Pango in the early game. Like I felt like he played as well as he could in the first like 10-15 minutes. But at the end of the day, it was only so much you can do, you know, with the setup. Unfortunately, their 24th pick Axe didn't exactly pan out like the way they hoped for. Maybe they needed to go back to the drawing board and figure out if we have Pango mid and we have a PA draft with this kind of passive, like you pretty much have 2 position 5 heroes, so you need the offlaner to be kind of more like a damage dealer.
That definitely makes sense, especially considering that the contemporary meta here on the road to the international has been a beefy cause where nobody dies. Just keep your entire squad alive, having people frontline for you. What do you make of this, Lizard? What's the counter like? And the thing is, Liquid keep doing this, but also picking Ancient Apparition, which is what you normally do to counter the tanky heroes.
You already answered your question, right? Like it's the Ancient Apparition. If you want to deal with the tanky boys, that's the hero to go for. You can see some other teams trying out Skywrath and things like that, right? All the amplified damage against the tanky boys, but Ancient Apparition has always been the one. Like you get that hero. There are some forbidden heroes to mention, like Timbersaw. I don't think we've seen him at all. Have we seen him in the group stages at all? I don't think so, right?
Yeah.
In any case, Ancient Apparition is the perfect answer, but it's not only about having a lot of damage or these tanky hero breakers, it's about having any damage, which they didn't have. With Treant and Venge, it just isn't going to work.
Well, Timbersaw has been completely ignored, Winter, but speaking more of this Ancient Apparition, I think it's probably not a mistake that Team Liquid, this is Insania's most played hero, 4 games, 4 wins on the AA. But one of the ways I know, Winter, that he really understands this hero, so I was looking at his itemization, and it's different every single game, right? Even in this game, he ended up going for the Blink Dagger. Like, Is there a standard way you think the hero should be played to be itemizing, or should you be taking the Insania approach and just pick and choose depending on the game?
It definitely depends on the game. The blink is a very ingenious approach because right now with the shard, your ulti applies the cold feed, so you can just blink instant stun somebody right away. So it's kind of nice to be able to do that. I feel like overall the hero doesn't really have any build that you must do, in a particular game. It always depends on how the game is going, what your team needs.
Long time ago, Ancient Apparition needed only one item, that's the Aghanims, right?
No. This. He needs this.
Midas and then Aghanims, of course. First you get the Midas, then you get the item, then you get the Aghanims, and then you get this smirk from our boy Insania. Yeah, he had a wonderful game. I'm not sure what exactly you need to do to get an MVP as an Ancient Apparition, but he got it, and yeah, we were blessed with the smirk.
I mean, part of the reason why AA has been a good hero right now is his enemies are no longer here. The Zoo meta, like AA doesn't really like to play against the Zoo heroes, the offlane Zoo heroes like the Visage, the Lycans, the Beastmaster, the Brutes, Those heroes are kind of like gone, So it's a perfect environment for AA to thrive right now against all the strength heroes, the heroes that like to build hard.
Yep.
There are some teams that are still one team that's still trying to do it. That's Entity, right? Like with some Visages here and there, but yeah, overall
TSM does it too.
Yeah, but overall I agree completely. AA is in a pretty good spot.
Speaking of all these Tinker Cores right now, obviously EG have lost their first game, so they need to do something interesting to bring things back for game 2. The hero they've been most successful with, outside of the PA, which they tried now for Bakaz, is a hero, I'll admit, Blizzard, we've spoken on camera, I'm cold about it. Kunkka, the Water Boy. Liquid did end up banning it against Evil Geniuses, but given that it's their most successful hero overall, given how good Kunkka has been looking these last couple of days, given what you saw earlier from Spirit today on the big Pirate Man, don't you just first pick Kunkka if you're in the hands of EG?
Look, if you took the same draft and you mixed it up and you gave C-Smile or Whisper Kunkka, nothing would have changed. Like, you still get the same idea, the same draft more or less. What you needed in that place is any sort of a kill hero on position 4 or 5. You needed some more damage, some more oomph. I think they got stuck a little bit in the Matthew ideas. He's always playing some invis, backliners, Bounty Hunter, Ricky Trians, he's always, I don't know, gimmicky. He's always playing...
You cannot have a position 5 Venge if you are playing...
If you're playing like that,
If all these heroes are in the game, the Bounty, the Trian, the Ricky, the position 5 hero needs to be like something like a Phoenix, a Warlock. You need to be a damage dealer and you can push out waves and you have some team fight, because all those other heroes, they don't do damage, they don't have a team fight. So your position 5 hero needs to kind of balance it out.
The position 5 in this particular case, Matthew, has done quite a lot for the squad, and one thing that I found very interesting is that up until today, he played a different hero every single game, right? This is a second tree game, but every other game it has something new, something different, right?
4 or 5? Matthew, right?
Yeah, okay. Matthew. And it intrigues me a lot, right? Because up against an opponent like Team Liquid, normally it's Liquid that does this massive variability in their drafts, but this tournament they've been kind of reserved. It's actually been EG that's been very, very weird, but is it a good idea, do you all think, to have your 5 position be the one that rotates unique heroes every single game?
I mean, they are kind of like... They have 2 5s, I feel. Like. Both of them.
Both Panda and Matthew,
Yeah, like some drafts, I feel like it's not exactly good, when you have C-Smile and Whisper playing like the Axe and Pango, like you have 2 utility cores. I think it could work when you have greedier cores, then you can run double 5 position heroes. So then they need to figure out how to find the balance in the draft.
And so far, honestly, I've loved the way Panda has been playing throughout the tournament, like the rotation.
Your Dire team pick. 10 seconds.
Lion.
5 seconds remaining.
Stare your death in the face. Necrophos.
Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Storm Spirit.
Riki. It's in the bag.
Prepare for battle.
It's in the bag. This one is in the bag.
I'll drag them to hell myself if I must.
It's in the bag. That's what happens when I rush.
30 seconds to battle. The battle begins.
Are you lost?
Denied! First blood. Denial! Stopped you. I like to keep my head. No. And spitting plank. You're held with me. Poison closes you. My poison works its magic.
Denied!
Radiant's courier has been killed.
The seeds of fortune. Axe cuts no more, you lord.
You have my respect.
Bottom is missing, according to Axe.
I've always wanted to be a giant space crab.
Bottom is missing, according to Axe.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified.
Illusion?
You have passed the
I'm over here.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
A soldier's death. Ha-ha! Money changes hands.
Denied!
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
You have my respect.
That's what happens when I rush.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Denied!
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Double damage! Death from above. Killing spree.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified. Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Bottom is easy.
invisibility.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack.
Coin for me.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified.
Sweet sepsis.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Double kill.
Stupendous!
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's top tower has fallen. Dire's structures are fortified.
I've been wanting this.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower has fallen. Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
How your blood sours.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified.
Come and get it! I've always wanted to be a giant space crab.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Haste! You had your warning!
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Double kill.
Money changes hands.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower has fallen. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Look at me. Stare your death in the face.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Illusion?
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Just
Double kill. Unstoppable ultra kill.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I'm sick of your face.
No!
Radiant are scanning.
been wanting this. What sort of prize? Double kill.
Radiant are scanning.
Burst. He's gone.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified. Radiant structures are fortified. Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Stupendous! Is it? Looking for me?
Even better when I fire twice. Mercy has been given to you.
Dire's middle tower has been denied. Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Death's bounty. Here I am! Shit.
You have my respect. That's no good for you.
Haste! Over here now!
Salt in the wound.
No whining now!
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Oh my god! It's too good! But no, it's not good enough at all. Or wait, is it? Maybe?
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Wait.
Hello, Fiona. Hello.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen. Roshan has fallen to the Radiant. Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Invisibility. Dire's middle tower is under attack.
The man down.
Radiant are scanning.
Whoa, what'd I miss?
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Wait.
Hello, Fiona. Hello.
Radiant structures are fortified. Dire's structures are fortified. Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's top tower has fallen.
Stupendous!
Wait.
Hello， 队友呢 ？Hello。
Radiant are scanning. Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Ultra kill.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower has fallen. Dire's structures are fortified. Dire's middle barracks are under attack. Dire's middle barracks has fallen. Dire's middle barracks has fallen.
Oh my god, no, not like this!
That's what happens when I rush.
Dire's top barracks are under attack. Dire's top barracks has fallen. Dire's top barracks has fallen.
Triple kill!
Another Reaper, but you're in our weakness shows.
Holy moly!
Radiant victory!
So just
They're
the
not done.
movements are
Insana
so
has
fast.
another swap available in a couple of seconds. Drums as well.
Cause that Silver Edge is going to run out. Double damage has half the duration on it. They're still looking for another one here, and Sai activating that Bristleback has the Lotus on himself. That means there's no Stormhammer to be thrown on him, but Picasso is going to farm right where they got Matthew picked off. They have the vision there, so they have the information of where this Sven's at.
Double damage is gonna run out. Yeah, it's being pinged out that they just placed vision. This Observer Ward.
Doing so
sneaky
much.
one from Boxy. Provided them vision. Let's see, Matthew's not gonna find it. It's out of range. Oh, they see him again.
They want to go. They've got Boxy TPing in already. Curse of the Old Growth, sprouting him up. The control is there. Focus fire and putting Matthew back in the grave that he crawled out of.
Matthew just pinged the high ground. He's like, there's a ward somewhere. I placed down sentry, but couldn't find it.
These Boxy wards just doing so much for Team Liquid. The vision around the map is pretty good for them in great farming locations that EG have been utilizing. So it's now a 10,000 net worth lead. We haven't really seen a 5-on-5 fight. It's just been pickoffs for Liquid all over the map. While that's been going on, because he's farming, it's going into the MKB. He's got the Silver Edge we talked about, but I don't know if it's going to be enough anymore. The deficit's becoming too much.
He still packs a punch. Like Sven is almost at his peak at the moment. You can purchase a shard. I think that's a big upgrade. Like we've seen some of the Svens, like even in the TI qualifiers, especially level up, they love to pick up this shard on Sven early on just to be able to play around the team. Most of the damage on side of Liquid is physical. All three cores, like even a Vengeful Spirit with this Aghanim Scepter. I don't think we've seen Insania dying, to be honest, while he had Aghanim Scepter. Usually what you want to do once you pick it up is just run at people. They've been running at people. The problem is he's way too tanky and he's not dying.
The shard that we saw from Level Up, Dahak was always early from him too. He was never afraid to purchase that shard, knowing that if you're sitting at top of the net worth, the odds of you getting it from the Tormentor are pretty slim to none. Midas for the Doom. He's going into the BKB. He's got 3,000 gold going his way, and now Pakaz queuing up Nullifier, queuing up MKB. He's trying to figure out what he wants.
Sold Mask of Madness, bought Assault Curia, so that's going to be some extra armor for the team.
He's on high ground.
Minute and 20 left of that Aegis.
Oh, they've got Insania with the Wave of Terror. Now they've got Zai going in with the Hairball. Use these drums, Rod of Atos. That's the control from Boxy needed to try and get a kill, and they will on a Matthew.
Boxy has been setting things up for Team Liquid in both of these games, especially in the second game. They're still not done. Zai on top of the high ground with the Lotus Orb on him. Pakaz needs to find the right angle. He might go for the backstab.
Needs to find his moment. He does have that shard queued up now, what we were talking about. So they back away. They know there's not a lot of time left on this Aegis. Still 38 seconds though. Maybe could have stayed for a little bit longer. Just don't want to give anything up for free.
Team Liquid is out farming them right now. Boxy, he TPs on a different side of the map, uses Wrath of Nature, uses this Sprout to get the farm. Treants stacking the camps as well with it. So doing pretty much everything that he can. And of course, EG slightly too afraid to leave. They might go for a smoke once they push out the waves because they want to use this Sven, because Sven is super strong right now. Silver Edge, we haven't seen Bristleback being broken yet, I believe. There's also another Tormentor available. Zai's going to take care of the business.
Not as cool as the 5 Courier Dazzle Tormentor take.
Still very cool.
But yeah, cool nonetheless. That's my favorite way to take Tormentor now.
Box is like, yeah, I'm helping. So Nisha gets it, and on the other side, C-Smile gets one. So we'll have that Blink Silence and also Gale Force. Not as strong as it was when, you know, it was global ability, but it's still very good, keeping them in place, set up for a Shackle, and also for potential Bristleback. Just those Quill Sprays, keeping them in place, so CK can deal damage as well. Got that level 20 talent, Quill Spray damage, so that's going to be pretty massive. Sven did pick up the shard, understands that he needs to buy all of the items that he can right now. No point to save for buyback. Sven, not that type of a hero, because he's relying on his ulti to deal as much damage as possible. Let's see if they can find someone else. Again, providing vision. This is going to catch Pakaz bottom.
Nisha with his Ags. Just gets the invis. There it is. Yeah, they go. They land that Shackle.
Beautiful execution.
No buyback.
Swap into Hex from Boxy, into Shackle.
Whoa.
And We talked about like no buyback, but if he's outside of the base, this game is pretty similar to the game number 1 where they didn't have buyback available and the game just ended pretty much. Let's see how much damage they can deal in 70 seconds. No Treant Protector on EG this time, so all damage that they deal is not going to be healed.
Can clean up this creep wave pretty quickly, but backdoor not activated just yet. They're a little bit hesitant, not knowing whether or not Sven's got that buyback, but taking the tier 3 and no buyback yet, it's giving them that little bit of a hint that, hey, maybe he just doesn't have it. We can go for it and commit. Backdoor finally kicks in.
They can still go through the backdoor protection and kill it.
They've got creeps coming over. That'll be gone in just a second, and there it is. So it's at least one set of racks here for the side of Liquid. Extending that net worth lead to 21,000 and still another 30 seconds. They got themselves a swap into the combo. It's so smooth, it's so clean, it's so fluid. Liquid just make it look so easy sometimes.
This might be the game. Like Pakaz, 20 seconds. These are long 20 seconds. And again, they caught Whisper. 4 seconds
4
stun.
seconds stun. He's just trying to get back into it as well.
Oh, he snipes him.
Oh my gosh. Gets him with the power shot. Mickey with the tip.
And that's it. They're playing against Mega Creeps. No Queen of Pain. Whisper does have buyback available. Pakaz needs to deal some heavy damage right now. They have one chance. If they miss this chance, they're going to be starting in lower bracket.
Not looking good. Whisper's got buyback, holding it for now. The tier 4 is low. And now, again, just having Nisha using that focus fire, cleaning up these towers, leaving the throne exposed. They've got the swap into the Hex, and now the Reality Rift. They go to the Soulbind. Is it going to be enough with Pakaz coming in with a BKB? Does he have the damage? He will. He takes out Zai. He takes out Insania, who looks over at the illusion of Insania that he left behind.
Throne is exposed.
Swap once more onto the Grimstroke. They're focusing the throne for the moment. Panda's going to fall. He's got buyback, pops back into the fight. Nick working on these smaller buildings while Zai's got himself the Lotus Orb. He bought back and came back into the base immediately. C-Smile getting low. Focus fire once again. Supernova's going to be used here by Whisper. They look over at Mick, and they've got the BKB. They're chasing the CK back. Pakaz with the Silver Edge. Maybe he can go after Zai. He breaks him. He just bought back, but they've got the control. They have the Sprout. Nisha with the BKB as well as the Gale Force pushing these heroes on the side of EG back. Icarus dive all the way over, but he doesn't have a Supernova to work with. They've got the Reality Rift. They've got the stun onto Pakaz. They've got the control onto the Sven. They've leached him up with the Sprout. They'll get the kill onto the Sven as well. It's 90 seconds without their carry. Zai back to full health. C-Smile and the rest of EG trying to stop this from going down. They'll call GG, and Liquid will take the 2-0 over this Evil Genius side with ease.
A very clean execution coming out from Team Liquid in this second game. Like the combos that they executed, swap into Hex 2 times, is what kind of opened up the map. And also these deep observer wards from Boxy, from Insania, mostly coming out from Boxy. Just the overall perfect execution from every single member of the team.
Yeah, so Team Liquid, even with the Wind Ranger, take the 2-0, and we'll go to a big Wind Ranger enjoyer. We'll throw it over to Slacks. Take it away.
Liquid, guys. Liquid win. Liquid! You won the game. Okay, I've never actually seen a player that upset to see me in my life. Congratulations, Liquid. You did it. Woohoo! All right, great. Well, anyway, interview time. Who wants to do it? Hey, you get a special cookie for your hard work. What'd you think of that game?
Was kind of hard.
Okay. But you did it, though.
Yay.
Insania, the good interview target. Hello. Welcome. How was the series for you?
It was good. Game 1 was really good. Game 2 started really good. And then we did some clowny stuff.
Yeah.
And then it got interesting. And then it ended good.
Okay, fantastic. I mean, that seemed like you guys had to work pretty hard. Boxy, you feeling good about that game, buddy? How was the ride? What was the ride for you like, you know? If you had to describe it, if you had to say the road to the International, was this a bumpy road, highway to hell? You know, Dota road, take me home?
Smooth sailing.
Smooth sailing, a paved road, even with the Wind Ranger. Nice job, oh, and of course, we have to get the man here himself. Just oh my God, a one-worder, if you could, please. For the fans out there, how was the game?
Slow.
Okay, slow. Much like this interview, I can tell. Zai, anywhere? What, meme? Zai? Oh, what do you got for us, buddy?
I don't know. I was gonna watch the replay. You're kind of in my way, I think. So
I'm in your way as you're watching the replay. You just won. What do you have to learn?
So if you could please leave, can I watch this replay? You know.
Okay, thanks a lot, guys. All right, great interview, great times. The boys are really flopping, excited with energy. Back to you guys.
You're in the way, Slacks. What's up with you, man? We're trying to do some replay analysis. God damn it. Team Liquid, there's a reason why they look so hot right now. You can see how they're locked in. Xayah especially will not leave unless he lifts an Aegis for the first time in his career. And he has a very good chance of doing so now that they are through to the playoffs on the road to the International. I'm back on panel. I've got Winter, I've got Big Liz. Boys, I think Insania said it best, Liz. Like the game at the beginning, honestly, at 10 minutes, I thought the game was 100% over. It was such domination. There were like 8 kills in the top lane. Boxia denied 2 water runes. Bottom was kind of a disaster as well. What happened in the mid game? What did Liquid do?
I don't know who I would praise more. Would it be Insania or would it be Boxy? Together, the power of friendship. Yeah, but this Nature Prophet hero, it's insane. If you have a lane that's a little bit deep and can't really get out, Prophet just destroys it. TP's in, and that's what he was doing. He goes top, helps out Insania and CK, like CK Mickey, can't spell Mickey. Next level. Anyways, it was a really rough lane for EG. I think top is where it all kind of fell apart because Nature's Prophet was getting way too much. Insania, Lacoste called him like one of those players that excels at defensive heroes, like these Sabers, these Oracles, these Vengefulls. At the same time, every time he plays these heroes, he's got like 7 kills, 0 deaths. Like he destroys. And that's partly because he likes to kill steal a little bit with some of those spells, but not in this game. He was just on point.
I mean, he was buying the aggressive items. Yeah. I like it when position 5 players get drums early instead of like the bread and butter. You get arcane boots, you get glimmer cave, you get the 4 stuff, you know, boring items, you know, drums, go in, set up kills. But then again, back to EG, like the root of like the problem of the team where I see they always face in their games is the offlaner is always dumped on an island alone because Matthew on the position 4, he likes to run around freestyle, you know, like he wants to do his own thing. And sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not good. You know? It creates a lot of like uncertainty in the game, and whereas a lot of the games I feel like Whisper, he's on a hero that needs to have a decent start, a decent enough start that the support then only can leave him alone, you know, but oftentimes I feel like he's being left alone way too much.
That's probably the best way to describe Matthew. He's a freestyler. I think you need that in a position 4, right? Like you need flair, you need...
And not in this, I feel like not in this meta, you know, like...
Yeah. Okay, fair enough, fair enough.
But that's a tough thing, I guess, right? Because when EG were looking good at the beginning of the year, in particular when they were playing at the Lima Major, it was with the style of leaving Whisper. At the time, it was mostly like Timbersaw, some Broodmother here or there, Brewmaster, Broodmother as well. But heroes that you could do that with. And that's when they were successful. So I guess it's hard to unlearn the habits that got you to success in the first place.
Yeah, it all comes down to the, like you just said, heroes that are played on the offlane. That's number 1. But I think it's also very important to know exactly when you can leave them, right? The problem is usually you can leave your offlaner if you already have gained some significant advantage on the offlane. Like you're pressuring, he is maybe a level higher, he got a couple of kills, couple of those rings of health or something to sustain himself. The problem was in this particular game, they don't have that. Like they're being destroyed together, and if you leave him,
it's a phoenix, you know.
He's a phoenix. What's he gonna do? He has that dive on a 40-second cooldown. He can escape once, and that's it.
I think what also makes it very complicated here on the enemy team to deal with Team Liquid, right, is how quickly they can get on top of you. We were talking in the previous game about, all right, what do we need to do to be able to kill these heroes, these uber tanky heroes? And in this game, they still struggle to do that. The kill combination was a little bit better though, Winter. Could they have executed a little bit better in the early game to get some of those key kills? Maybe 1 or more deaths on the Bristleback. Or hell, I think also that one moment where they killed Bristleback and didn't take the Roshan.
I mean, that was kind of a bit of an unlucky moment. They didn't really scout. I mean, he was scouting and then he came out and then Roshan spawned. Yeah, but at the same time, you know, I feel like Pakas did a good job, you know, when his team, they were behind and he was coming to the fights, defending the towers. He was doing whatever he can or whatever in his power to help his team, give them some little bit of extra damage, the stun. But you're down the core, you know, I feel like a lot of the fights, they were lacking damage because Whisper, he was so poor on the Phoenix.
Phoenix for the longest time, in my opinion, wasn't a great core in general because the hero, mostly what he provided was the Sunray and the egg, right? Most of the time it would even be just the egg, this nuisance that everyone goes on. Right now I can see it resurging a little bit, like some teams are trying out the offlane Phoenix. I'm still not the greatest fan, but from EG, I like this draft and this style of play 10 times more than game one. Game one, I never felt they had a sliver of hope. This time around, at least, they could put up a fight even when the lanes went poorly.
Because we really did try his utmost to try and carry this game back into a useful position, but unfortunately unable to do so. Team Liquid just a little bit too solid, a little bit too good. You know, we're praising Insania for his prowess in the laning phase, but I really think this Boxy Nature's Prophet, it should be in every game. It's the amount of pressure he can apply on the map. He's killing everything, and I think Boxy always has been one of those players whose positioning is spectacular, beyond amazing. But we're going to be talking more about exactly what's happening with the game with Team Liquid and EG. We'll break it down a little bit further. But before we do so, we still have to remind y'all, we have more Dota to come. One more series here on the road to the International, which will be Gaming Gladiators versus Talon Esports. Of course, one of the talismans of the gaming lineup has been their star mid laner Quinn. So let's find out about his journey here to Seattle on the road to the International.
I think difference during the DBC season compared to like Riyadh and the Stream League, I think, to be honest, I think teams got ahead of us a bit in terms of meta. I think all the ramifications of the massive map size patch weren't really truly felt until more recently. I think Riyadh was one of the first tournaments where people like that was started to be felt more. It just takes time for people to like truly understand some of these things, and it's still being felt. Like people don't really understand the map even close to like they used to with the old one, where everyone knew everything and it was like every game was like pre-planned, you know, 5 minutes, our game's over. It's not like that anymore. And I think we were honestly just a bit behind on some things, and other people they got ahead of us, and so we're just playing catch up. And when you're playing catch up as opposed to like you're in a good spot and there's slight things you're tweaking, that perspective difference is like massive. And I think for the last 2 tournaments we were in the perspective of we're trailing and we're like clawing to try to catch up people as opposed to being near the front and like maintaining that position.
As you're going to welcome back, we've got our final series of the night ready to go as well. Gaming Gladiators taking on Talon Esports. And we've seen some 3 series with a couple of quick 2-0s. Hopefully this one will change the script a little bit for that all-important upper bracket slot.
It's a Talon series. You know it's going to go a little bit longer. They do like to farm the map. They're, you know, Tundra light, they're Spirit light. They take the slightly longer games, and they actually have a slightly more advantageous recent win record against the Gaming Gladiators. They ended up knocking them out in that 3rd, 4th decider at the Riyadh Masters. So they're going to have a little bit of momentum going their way, especially after the day 2, where they went 4-0 after a disaster of a day 1, Talon going 0-4.
Yeah, which was a crazy bounce back for them. And you know, Gladiators as well, of course, a lot of expectations coming into this TI with the year they've had. I mean, no one has had as successful of a year as these boys. No team ever has won every single major in a year, and these lads have done it. I mean, multiple other tournament victories on top of that as well. You look at Dream League, you look at some Bet Boom tournaments. Of course, you know, towards the tail end of the year, we have seen, you want to call it a little bit of a decrease in some of their play, but really, I mean, these are still the team to look out for, and they're going up against, like you said, a team that knocked them out at Riyadh. So I don't know, I thought a lot of the other series were going to be really close. We didn't get too many close games. I'm hoping this one will be, though.
You know what? It's the day has been running pretty quick. People have no excuse to go to bed early, you know. Stick around, watch the whole day of Dota. This is the one. This is the main event of the day, the last series of the day, like we said. And, well, we're going to see another Dazzle removed from the pool. The most banned hero, I believe, all throughout TI so far, and for pretty good reason. You can just clump up, move on forward. The bad Juju providing so much armor, so much protection. And I'm keen to see how both teams have an understanding of how to play around this hard meta. Gaming Gladiators in particular really just love buying up hearts on as many cores as possible, and they even are one of the few teams that prioritize the Necrophos a little more than others, with Quinn picking up, I believe, 3 times already so far this tournament. And anything, you know me, we've been casting together for a little bit. That percentage-based damage is, I think, the key to unlocking a lot of these strats. We saw EG just try the Doom. I think that's another good one. You both have the percent damage with the Infernal Blade, as well as the Doom itself, to be able to nullify all of that healing that comes through from either healing supports or the heart itself.
And I've been saying as well, another hero on top of that is the AA, which we've seen some priority with so far today with getting first phased. And it's also another hero that we want to look at heading into this series. So far, Celery hasn't played it in any of their games in the group stages, and Ollie hasn't as well. You mentioned a successful hero for Quinn with the Necro, 3 games, 3 wins. Ollie, three games on the Pugna, 3 wins as well. So that's something that he's been playing a lot. And even Tofu, 5 games on the Moeta. So this is also something that we see a little bit more emphasis on between these two teams with their supports compared to some of the other teams that we were covering in the group stages.
Yeah, I'm honestly a little surprised that they haven't given a little bit of attention to the Muerta in the first phase, and that's exactly why, right? You just have flex. I think it's being played pretty much equally between the position 1 and position 4 roles, but in terms of win rate, when it's played as a position 4, it's like 75%, something ridiculously high like that. And Tofu is a big reason why he's just been, and it's not even just one item build either. He goes completely different ones almost every single time, whether it's Vessel Yules, Glitnir Ags, Forstaff, and Lotus Orb, drums and pipe. Like, they've got so many options. It's so flexible. But then again, so is the Invoker.
And it is indeed. Of course, a hero that's pretty much always been first phase banned in a lot of the games that we've seen so far. The road to the international slips through. Alan, without a doubt, going to pick it up. Just again, staying with the Moeta, Dyrachyo hasn't played it yet. So every single game, it has been Tofu. Of course, we have seen Dyrachyo more than, it definitely has the capability. We've seen him at previous Dream Leagues when this hero just came out, but at least so far, they feel like it is best suited for a support.
I think he's played it like 3 times in the past 6 months, though. So it's not like he's been super practicing unless he's been spamming it behind closed doors. It really, to me, it doesn't feel like a Dyrachyo hero, you know?
But some of those heroes you'd say is the Chaos Knight, which is without a doubt top 5 carries at the moment. I still don't have, you know, too good of a read on where like Wraith King fits into play. I know Dyrachyo's got like a really good Spectre and Lifestealer. These are really solid heroes at the moment. So of course, we're not going to be looking at his hero at the moment, but when we get further into the draft, we'll see what they want to give over to Dyrachyo.
There's a potential for it. They could look to pick up a Wraith King early-ish just because Ace has shown the potential to be able to play it. I don't think Quinn has actually played too much of the Primal Beast. It's really been Ace that's been fulfilling that sort of role. So in terms of like similarity and flex between the cores, it would really have to be between Ace and Dyrachyo. Even like the Lone Druid is a possibility. You know, we were talking about that yesterday. It really feels like this is the sort of meta that Ace would absolutely be loving.
Any surprises so far with, I guess, the second phase? We only see Gladiators at the moment, but the Dawnbreaker and the Tusk?
I think it's specifically targeting like this offlane. I think that's a big reason behind why Talon were able to come back with that 4-0 record. They just played to their strengths, right? And Q, his Tusk is pretty great. He's one of the only people still playing the support Tiny, and he made it work yesterday with 2 wins, I believe. And yeah, you mentioned the Pugna as well. I'm a little surprised that Ollie still has that left in the pool for him. Of course, picking it now would a little bit reduce the flexibility of this Invoker, but even coming into the tournament, Pugna plus Void Spirit and Underlord were the 2 heroes that Talon really liked to pair together, and well, there is that Tiny that I was talking about.
Man, if anyone is going to pull out a support Tiny still, it's going to be that man on screen right now. You said best in the world? That's
best in the world.
That's a pretty big claim.
Bro, he's like 3rd in net worth consistently as this position 4 Tiny. Come on.
And this is the hero we've been, you've been definitely mentioning a lot as well with the Phoenix potential. You got strong combo now to the puck, so a lot of team fight, a lot of AoE damage. We're gonna need to see a response out of Talon. I mean, you pick the puck into the Tiny. Like, I guess we haven't seen really them play the Invoker too much as a support, but you know, there is maybe now you're deciding, do you want to put Tiny mid lane and then play the Invoker, or whether it be for Q or Ollie?
I think you're still generally okay with playing Mikoto on the Invoker. Yes, it's really hard to like chain lock down the puck, but that's what the Tiny is for, right? So it's really just about, you know, maybe playing a little bit more passive of an early game and then really just starting to ramp up around that 15 or so minute mark when you should be starting to come online with your Blink Daggers, with your Urn Vessel, whatever it might be that you've got at that time.
Could be a cool little combo as well, like coil into Deadshot. So we'll see how Gaming Gladiators, if they can execute that combo as the game goes on, but moment What do we feel like Talon need to cover? Because again, we see like a lot of team fight out of Gaming Gladiators. Are you looking to go down that route a little bit as well for Talon to be able to take these 5-on-5 fights once we get there?
Yeah, possibly. I mean, the Brewmaster has actually slipped all the way through to this stage, and I think it's something that Jabs plays pretty significantly well. Of course, it would lead to having a double melee offlane, which isn't really something that you want to be giving away at this stage, unless you're incredibly confident about the strength of it. And I'm just not quite sure if they are quite yet at that point. They're just going to go back to the well again. Why not? The Pugna is a really good combination. It allows you to stay out on the map very frequently, just with that mana battery coming through. Of course, it's probably not going to be paired together with the likes of a Storm Spirit, but still feels pretty strong when played together with a Tiny or an Invoker. Even just the Decrep for the Avatos combo really does rip someone apart.
5 seconds remaining.
Have you got a preference with carries with leaning into the Pugna?
Not really. I mean, I think you just need someone that's either going to have a good amount of stun and kill threat, or you need someone that just stays the hell away from him and doesn't really care, because Pugna's big strengths are high damage, high movement speed, but a lack of like mobility skills.
We were mentioning the potential of Dyrachyo having a lot of success in the past with the Wraith King. Ace has played it a lot so far as well, but 23 Savage too, we've seen in the past really like this Wraith King hero. So you've got a pretty strong safe lane for Talon. Of course, we don't know even if Jabs wants to play it in the off lane. You do have a lot of pushing potential, which, you know, now with the Wraith King Pugna, these towers could fall at a really rapid rate.
And the one criticism that I had about Talon in times gone by, even when they had that really successful Riyadh run, was that it felt like teams that just outpaced them just absolutely ran through them. And so I like that they've added this extra string to their bow where they're able to actually be the ones playing a little bit more on the front foot early on. It's why Liquid have such a great record against them, right? Liquid are great at playing fast, but Talon now, they're looking to try it themselves. And if it is Savage playing this would be his 7th game so far of this tournament, 9th game, and this would be his 9th unique hero. So he is really just going for the versatility on his Pentagon right now.
That's the other carry we brought up earlier. So, so both sides are pretty happy, at least with their ones. I wonder what the...
I could see Ace playing it too.
Yes, without a doubt. He's done it in the past.
10 seconds remaining.
I'm just seeing a heart builder. You know, like they have a lot of damage, but again, the percent damage a tiny bit lacking outside of the vessel, right? And you know you're going to have the Phantasm to be able to get out of that. You're eventually going to be able to get into a BKB on the CK. We even see occasionally a Manta style come out from him, but probably not super early on. So it is going to take a little bit to be able to get through this CK's HP pool, especially once he hits up onto that level 15 talent, minus 100% damage taken from the Phantasm. So they only take an extra, 225%, or 125% if you will.
What do you feel like they are?
People that deal with it.
What do you feel like they're lacking in the offlane? I know you said the potential of the CK to be 1 or 3, but if we are still looking for that ace hero to outround their draft and be able to pair up with a Moeta for Tofu, what do you kind of feel like they need to cover?
I don't think they would hate a Brewmaster either, to be honest. I mean, Ace has really good micros, so it obviously already fits his sort of style. And also, it's a nice way to be able to dispel things like the Decrep if you're using it defensively. You can completely isolate one of the heroes in these team fights. You can, use the Void Bruling as well for a little bit of that pushing potential. And you've already got the potential to like control a closed-in area of a fight with the Dream Coil, with the Calling, with the Dead Shot. Like, it's a lot of stuff that holds people into this little choke point. So I feel like a Brewmaster would work really well.
Can we see a potential of Centaur even being considered as well for the Gladiators? I mean, it feels like Centaur Moeta could be a pretty strong lane. Maybe as the game goes on, Wraith King, some of the physical damage might be a bit of a concern, but it's just another like initiating hero, so the Puck can follow up. So you've got the Chaos Knight as well, and Moeta can freely be able to play around these fights.
That's a possibility. They do get rid of Ace's low druid. I'm just thinking, like, I have a lot of faith in Mikoto and Q in terms of like their spell timing, right? Like, if you're going to pop the Stampede, they're going to be ready with a Blink Avalanche. They're going to be ready with a Tornado to be able to interrupt that sort of thing. So that's really just what's coming to the front of mind for me. Might not get the same level of effectiveness as you might be truly wanting.
Let's even see what this last band's going to be for Gladiators as well. Of course, we've just seen prior, they're looking to get rid of the Sven just in case it is going to be Jabs playing the Wraith King. And you are going to need to find some ways to be able to deal with this Chaos Knight. Just the Phantasm they are really lacking that AoE damage. I mean, Tiny's a support, really, you're probably not considering him. Invoker, sure, pretty decent at it, but you'd like someone else to be able to help out.
Yeah, I haven't really been playing too much other AoE heroes for 23 Savage. It's basically only been the Sven so far, unless you can count a PA and getting into that Battle Fury, but I don't know about how I would feel about that one. In terms of other things, Legion Commander wouldn't be horrible if you were wanting to run this as a position 1 Faceless Void, just to have a little bit of extra saves coming through, and they do go for that brew for the extra team fight. So now, like, the potential of locking someone down 100 to 0 just ramps up even further, right? You don't want the Phoenix to get off his ultimate and his Sunray. You don't want the Brewmaster to get off his split, because then the team fight just swings so far in the favor of Gaming Gladiators. So this really does feel like Talon pickoff versus Gaming Gladiators team fight.
Without a doubt, without a doubt. So we're going to have to see if they continue to go down that route here for Talon. If you want another strong lane, because Gladiators have very strong lanes at the moment. So we get that 24th pick to be able to outrun your draft, whether it's going to be Jabs or Savage, to be able to secure their lane.
Looks like they're still discussing it between the two of them. They're the only ones really raising any kind of points within the Talon camp right now. A little surprised that Sunby hasn't, done the classic coach thing and yoinked one of their seats.
The players be comfy. Ooh. The Naga. Okay. So is
I'm just waiting, just in case it's a Jabs one, because it's a C specialty to be able to put the Naga Siren in the off lane. Obviously, if Masaros was here for SMG, he would have been doing it all the way going back to KP as well. He loves that off lane Naga Siren, but it's going to be 23 Savage playing it. It is going to be a Jabs Wraith King coming through. It kind of goes away from that pick-off style that I was talking about. I suppose you do go into the Orchid a little early on the Naga Siren if you really wanted to go down that sort of route. And they are a little bit single target focused, but I mean, again, you've got the Wind Panda to be able to deal with some of those Naga illusions early on before she gets a lot of those stats. So it's a good way to be able to clear out a lot of 23 Savage's team fight effectiveness if it does get to that stage. But remember, that's not really what Talon are going for, right? They're going for the burst. They want to be the ones that are initiating and starting things off. And I'm sure that's what Sunby in the background is drilling into his boys right now.
It's definitely an interesting read, right? Where you can, I know you're mentioning a lot about Talon's potential to just go for these pickoffs and avoid the team fights. And that's something that Illusion Heroes can really help enable, where you just split up the map. We've spoken the supports on Gladiators are really going to struggle with dealing with these Naga illusions. So, we'll see. Do you even have the potential, like if Egg is used, you can Song to kill it or retreat, depending on how Quinn's going to use his coils. So there's a lot of like disengage your methods out of Talon now just with this Naga. And again, Gladiators, they're very team fight heavy, very cooldown reliant. So we're going to have to look at Talon and how they can open up the map. You need to get these Mikoto's rotations on point. You're going to need a pretty decent blink timing out of Q. So his also early rotations going to be pivotal on how early he can get his blink. But if Gaming Gladiators can just get their levels on their supports, their cores, take a couple fights with their ultimates and start to build that lead. And if they can get these 5-on-5 fights, it can still look a bit scary for Talon. But the Naga really throws a spanner in the works here, so we'll see what Savage can do.
We will, and like I was saying before during the earlier stage of the draft, I really still think despite having this quite aggressive, pick-off heavy, and even tower push-oriented draft, it is still going to be a slow-ish 10 to 15 minutes, at least from Talon's perspective. That's what they want. They want to get their core items online. Like you said, Q needs to get into that early Blink Dagger if possible, but once they hit that timing, once they truly come online, I'm expecting to see these 4 heroes minus Savage on the Naga Siren just grouping up and trying to ball down these towers. With the Blink Dagger, you can isolate someone, you can burst them with the Decrep, Nether Blast, Spirit Vessel, which I'm sure Mikoto will have at the time. And well, good to see a little bit of banter going on in the overall chat. Broski coming through from 23.
Project Mbappe. All right.
What do you think about the dot cringe after 23 Savage's name?
It's a bit cringe. I don't know. I was expecting something a little bit better. I guess he's got no sponsor tag. Duraccio.
Run away.
Should be fine. Jabs. Oh.
In the fog nicely.
Get the illusion.
We get to
+2,
to enjoy the Naga Siren illusions as well. The noise of the washing machine coming through. Hang on. Every single right click.
They got 2 illusions. Hang on, this extra 2 gold for Quinn and Topher to start.
Is it over?
I don't know. Let's see how many bounties they get as well. See if we get a fight too. So, of course, both sides well aware of the current positioning. You see, this is going to be such an exciting matchup. Like you said, previously, Talon, they knocked out Gladiators at Riyadh. We've seen previously Dream League. Gladiators, I think it was Dream League Season 20 actually knocked out Talon in the playoffs as well. So, been back and forth between these two teams for the entire year. It does look like GG is going to be able to find 3 bounties as well to start.
I love the Celery mind games coming through as well. Only waiting to drop the good luck, have fun after they get that mid D ward off as well. I mean, he does little things that are kind of crazy. Like in the middle of the game, like after a play, even if someone was completely uninvolved, he'll tip them. Even if they weren't supposed to be part of that, he'll tip them. Just to kind of, sow some of that discourse into the rest of the team. Like, why is he tipping him? What are we talking about? It's all about that little extra edge that you're trying to get throughout these games.
Edge is always important. Always important. You get a little bit of advantage against these two teams. They're so evenly matched. Such a treat as we get to see them already being able to battle it out in such an important series. Q down to 100 health though, so early on, Dyrachyo and Celery putting a lot of damage into the two. This could be a very messy lane though for Talon. Double melee, really going to struggle with the Fire Spirits. Again, Chaos Knight probably one of the better laning carries behind the Trolls. So, and this is not going to get easier as levels go on as well.
No, it's really the level 2 timing that I'm looking for here on Gaming Gladiators, right? Tiny has 0 armor to be able to start things off. He's bought a Ring of Protection specifically because of this purpose, going up against a Chaos Knight. And, when that Reality Rift comes online, maybe you won't have the mana pool for it, actually, considering he has been spamming out the Chaos Bolts, but it really is going to put Q in a lot of strife. Going down to -2 armor, you're probably going to be able to secure the kill onto him. So it's important for Talon that they get up to a level 2 pretty quickly on him, just to get that early point in the Avalanche and disrupt any kind of aggressive plays that GG might be trying to make against them.
I mean, are you already considering about maybe even just dragging the wave? I know it's not as potent as what it used to be, but is this something you're considering from Talon to maybe offset the current lane setup? Because we see level 2, they're going to go. Jabs should be our first blood with a dive slow. Dyrachyo doesn't need to dive under the tower thanks to Celery's damage over time. And they will take a little bit of damage from the Korea Waves. Q's still going to hold them down as well with the Avalanche, but it's a nice hit back damage-wise, but nonetheless, still that first blood gold is going to be huge in this lane.
It's going to be Celery getting it again. So got the D-Ward gold, got the first blood gold, and again, Phoenix really doesn't need all that much to be able to have a really high level of impact.
What's going on mid? What's happening here, actually? This cold snap could be frustrating with a Korea Wave. Yeah, Quinn, that joined over the right side, still has some water runes to play with, but we already see this mid matchup as well. Quinn trying to put it to the edge here on Makoto.
It's going to mean that with that dive, he ends up losing the flag bearer creep, so doesn't have that little bit of extra regen. But of course, with the Invoker, somewhat sustainable, right? You've got the Cold Snap to be able to play around with if you wanted to just sit in the Ghost Walk. Probably a little bit too early level-wise to do it. Yeah.
Nice Avalanche to be able to cover jabs at the moment, but the stun as well on the dive. Celery will actually go down. A much-needed kill for Talon.
Yeah, very, very nicely done by Q, specifically making sure that he's able to follow him up on the backside. And again, just that Wraithfire Blast mid-air. That's, if you're going to make these big brain plays, trying to dive in onto the
Dyrachyo. These skeleton damage is really starting to stack up here on Dyrachyo.
He's got a tree.
Is it enough? No, 20 health. Is it Q? What? Looking for the Tars.
Why not? Got to go for those sorts of plays. And you were talking about the regen. Gaming Gladiators is out of regen. And because they've gone for that earlier kill threat, yeah, they've got 1 point of the Chaos Strike, but it's just not enough to be able to keep yourself safe up on this top side. But still, overall, all lanes going fairly well for the Gaming Gladiators right now. We haven't really been talking about bot all that much, have we?
No, Ace off to a good start. 19-6. They're to the 16-3 currently for the Brewmaster. We'll see what his item build's going to be. We've got him like Brown Boots, Midas, Radiance, maybe a little bit of extra utility as well as a potential. Is there something you are looking at here for Ace?
I think the Radiance would work fairly well, right? You know that it's going to prevent perhaps a little bit of damage.
I don't know about this. Yeah, they wanted to go for Ollie, but it just meant that Savage was freely able to right-click. And now Ace is in some danger as well. Decap to slow him down so Savage can get in front of the retreating Brewmaster. This eventually will be a double kill, and we are seeing the power of this Pugna again. Talon, they played it 3 times with 3 victories in the group stages, and Ollie's really given a good start over to Savage.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, when they were playing it in the games leading up to the Road to the International, like, it was by far their most common picked hero to be able to pair together with a lot of these other combinations. And, well, I've even talking about, we often see a lot of supports don't have a ton of synergy. You can get kills with just this Pugna and Q once he starts to get into that Blink Dagger timing.
Dude, Quinn is bodying mid though, 34-6 compared to the 26-4. Very impressed with the start that we're seeing out of the Puck so far. And of course, we know previously, actually top lane Jabs looking to TP out. Oh, we died in base. Still on cooldown for Dyrachyo. Q should be able to get back to the tower. Are they actually looking to go for it? No, never mind.
It's a big deal to have the Wraith King all the way back there, basically level on net worth with Celery up until this point, off the back of the first slot. But again, oh, wasn't expecting that.
Oh, some big kills now for Gladiators. You get that one up top. Ollie's now going to be pressured out as well. So yeah, a couple core kills, 1,000 net worth lead early, and this might help the supports to rotate to try and secure the power. And we've already got Q.
It's obvious though, Quinn knows he's here.
Ooh.
Nicely done. There wasn't too much more that Quinn could have done there. He did. But I mean, the thing is, you had a creep wave half underneath this top tier 1 tower, and Q wasn't getting it. They knew that Jabs didn't have a TP, so he was either stacking or going for the power rune, and you would have to assume that the power rune was the one that they were prioritizing. Still, though, that extra regen rune is going to provide a lot to Mikoto. And we were talking about, in terms of last hits, coming out a little bit on top on Quinn, but Mikoto, in terms of net worth, is right there with him.
Yeah, actually, definitely not body. Not bodying at all. He's still doing a very good job. What do we want to see out of these mid laners, though? Because with Coswex, already we will get our first rotation out of Mikoto, so shoved away with the Tornado. Now looking to try and play with Jabs as well. Q is not nearby. It's just going to be the 2 calls on Talon. First
question of how close does he get to that sentry that's currently blocking the hard camp. Doesn't look like he'll be able to make anything happen.
And they've got the read. Of course, Quinn shoves out the lane, so where would we like to see Quinn rotate to as well? Then, you know, that coil, of course, first one of the game could almost just guarantee a kill. Is there a lane you would prefer the Puck to move to?
I'd personally prefer him to go to top, just because Jabs has already had a pretty rough start, and it's going to just be put this Wraith King in the bin. You don't exactly provide a ton of utility when you're being played as an off lane, and they've got that kill threat there with the Chaos Knight as well, guaranteed.
Wonder when we're even going to see Ollie maybe think about making a play, you know, potentially through the portal. Currently hugging around this mid lane.
Whacking away at this tier 1 tower already. He's level 5 at 7.5 minutes, so 3 points Nether Blast. He can put a little bit of damage in.
I mean, that could be really frustrating. Just the Pugna showing mid, shoving the wave, putting pressure on the tower to force someone here, which could enable Mikoto. And we're going to see again him to consider about moving top, but
yeah, he's got the urn coming out to him now, and he's probably retreating back to be able to contest this top power rune. No one covering bottom side for Talon right now. Gaming Gladiators have secured that one, and it's going to be an arcane rune. So what more could you ask for as a Puck?
Celery? You're going to be able to stop the dive away. Let's get some separation. Still going to hunt with the Tornado, but off the mark. So Celery again. Mikoto, these movements, we are going to see. I mean, he's currently fine in net worth, but
You got to make sure you're keeping up.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the big thing with you got to make these early rotations count. You got to get those charges in the Urn of Shadows. You don't want it to be because you've died, and now they're actually going to go for a rotation of their own with that arcane rune, and they know they have to deal with this mid creep wave.
Jabs in a lot of danger. I mean, more heroes from Dire starting to funnel to top. You just have to sacrifice Jabs. In fact, he's even going to be able to TP out. Quinn is still going to be there nonetheless with the coil. So get the kill onto Q. Is this all 5 heroes? Everyone from Dire is at this top side.
He was able to TP out as a result of all of that. So, I mean, it's a lot of heroes being committed. And again, 23 Savage is happy on this bottom side. He's playing the Naga side. Maybe they feel on Gaming Gladiators that, you know what, we've got the Brewmaster. We haven't had to use the split just yet. We have the answers to it early on before she gets too many stats that the Wind Panda's just going to be absolutely able to wreck it with the Dispel Magic.
Do you feel like... Oh, actually hold that, because we might have a bit of a brawl once again with 3 heroes around mid. what the play is going to be. Of course, Dire, they have this ward that was able to scout out Q's currently positioned. Tofu's hanging behind Quinn as well, so it looks like the puck should be fine. Do you feel like, because we just saw the read, like Gladiators are putting so much emphasis on defending their tower. That was a big advantage we spoke about with Talon, with the Nether Blast and the Wraith King to take these early objectives. Do you agree that Gladiators should like bring 4-5 members to defend these early towers, or should they just play the macro game?
I think they're banking on the fact that Talon are going to overcommit and they're going to really be able to come out on top with any sort of defense, because you can't have that sort of thing happen where you only end up getting a support, right? 23 Savage getting a ton of farm is a
Celery,
disaster.
this could be dangerous. Coil with the egg, but they just blow up Quinn. His health pool disappeared. Makoto's going to go under the cover of the Ghost Walker. Pretty good dead shot, but really not going to help out too much in the end. Another turnaround's going to be there. What can these two supports do to pressure Talon? I mean, Tofu will use a defensive ultimate. Makoto can still stall out the retreat. Even got Tornado with the ready. Avalanche will help them close the distance. A little bit messy with a Tornado, and Tofu actually gets out. They stop the tree throw damage, and our Celery is going to be back with a combo. Ace comes out of nowhere as well.
He won't be.
He's got the ultimate ready to go if they want to continue chasing, and in the end, I mean, it's a support for Quinn's life. You're probably happy with it for Talon, but it's a messy spellcasting nonetheless. Top lane Thoraccio. Makoto's got to look to try and tip in with jabs. He's just got him far too aggressive in this lane. They recognize there's a very vulnerable Chaos Knight to these rotations, and they will be able to capitalize off the back of that. He's going to try and make it work for the kill. Surely not, right?
Toss forward?
Thoraccio, no way.
Oh my god, he's getting away. Chaos Knight is just so speedy, man.
Makoto, can he catch up to him?
No, he doesn't have Cold Snap or Tornado and Bunch or anything. Nicely done. So much space. So that's a couple of kills that you really probably should have converted onto. Worth one onto Tofu with the Avalanche being used at the same time as the Tornado, not dealing that additional amount of damage. And yeah, Thoraccio getting away with murder there. The plus side, at least still for Talon, is they do have this pushing style lineup. So Ollie is just chipping away at this top tower. It doesn't matter if a couple of creeps get hit into that mid tier 1. There's not too much significant damage being done there. And they are going to be opening up the map even further for Savage to play completely uncontested right now on this bottom side of the map.
This tower does have to go down now, though. Like we've seen, Gladiators done a pretty good job to stall it out for a couple minutes. And with Egg on cooldown, we are going to have some difficulties potentially defending this tower with multiple heroes. And yeah, does look like Talon will be successful. You also take
lucky as well. Power rune top side for Q. So Quinn was right in position to be able to secure that one and maybe make a bit of a move down here to be able to gank Savage. But without that, you don't have as much of that surprise factor. They're pinging it out right now that they have been missing off the map for quite some time. So let's see where Savage looks to move.
Both sides are making their own play. Currently, they're going to... Talon will run into Thoraccio first. They don't want to go for the CK meme or Savage.
Song.
Did he even...
That's the next level play.
Well done.
I saw Quinn underneath the tower, but anyway.
Okay, so both sides look for their own individual play across the map. Will both be thwarted as well. So this will give a bit of an opportunity now for Gladiators, maybe to put some pressure onto the Tier 1 tower. I mean, they're ready to go to force a 5v5 fight. With these ultimates back up, do you even need to, though? Because again, I mean, Ace, Midas, 2k gold in the bank. Are you looking to really take these big engagements at the moment from Dial?
I think you can, just because, again, Talon aren't quite ready yet, but I think what Talon are doing is pretty good. They're not committing their Wraith King to a lot of these pushes. They're not committing 23 Savage to a lot of these pushes. They're only putting heroes that are going to provide a lot of effectiveness in terms of being able to do some tower damage, open up the map, but it's not the absolute worst if they die, and they've got a lot of saves for them in terms of stuns, decrep, heal, tornado, lots of stuff to be able to make sure that they're not giving their lives up for free.
I haven't even noticed. Jabs has a Midas queued up. So we are... I mean, this is the classic Talon greed, right? Like trying to go ultra late game. See if he's going to be able to get to that stage. So smoke off from Talon, looking to try and move down bottom to slow down some of the farm that Ace is getting. These two heroes by themselves might lack the damage. Ace can have the potential to get his ultimate off. The timing needs to be perfect with the chain control.
They did decrep him.
Ace, there we go.
But still, I mean, not having Bruce Split now makes you feel like, you know what, okay, we're a lot more confident to be able to take a lot of these fights. We saw there the Tumblr's toy on Q. Doesn't have the Blink Dagger just yet, but does provide him that little bit of extra initiation. mean, the Savage and Jabs are going to be very happy about this as well. You know, they don't have that extra little bit of lockdown. They don't have that team fight. Maybe they can get a little bit more greedy with the farm that they're looking to try and pick up.
I mean, we see Mikoto just queued up the Midas as well after the Vessel. This tower is under some danger. Oh, very awkward dead shot.
There was a Ricky in the river.
Ah, okay. Right. Just trying to break down some trees to stop the TP locations in. I see.
For sure.
There no celeries here?
Mikoto be fine, though. And Savage is right behind him.
Cole's gonna break. Dive directly on the top. Do they want to deal with the egg of retreat? Savage and Oli's going to try and turn to bring it down the ditch. Man, so close
Almost.
from Tofu to keep it up, but see, Talon nonetheless will be able to bring him down. Now they're going to look for more. Quinn Duke's over to the right side, but Q, perfect placement out of the Tiny. He's going to make sure there is no escape from the mid lane on Gladiators, or is there? Another orb to get some separation, and Quinn will get out of danger.
Yeah, barely. One more second and he would have been dead to rights. Looks like Mikoto might even be looking to try and go for a bit of a follow-up here. He might see the Illusory Orb going up towards the north side, and he's got those Spirit Vessel charges.
Nice hunting. Mikoto going to be able to stop the Sunray instantly. Now Q's even moving over as well. They should be able to get a double kill as a result to this. Mikoto hunting deep behind the tower, getting ready to potentially punish any defense out of gaming Gladiators.
I've been really impressed with how Savage has been playing this game so far. You know, sure, he dies one time on the bottom side, but just the realization that he has this complete bottom side of the map to be able to farm. He's put himself a good amount ahead in terms of net worth. He made sure to use the song to be able to get away when they went for that one attempt. And then when they thought that maybe they could try and make a kill attempt of their own, he's in there, right in the position to be able to use that early Manta style, to be able to use all of that net worth as a significant threat. So really, really liking the Savage play so far. Again, 9 games, 9th unique hero from him. So the man is versatile.
And he is really taking over in the net worth. Up there by long shot. I mean, it does have to be said that the rest of the calls on Talon are struggling to keep up in farm, but importantly, you've got this blink on Q ready to go. He's not with the team just yet for this attempt.
Quick fingers by Quinn.
So Jabs is still
pop all that much on Talon to be able to make that kill attempt happen, right? You've got Q, like you mentioned, going to be about to come in as he refills his. He's got a Midas as well on the Tiny, by the way. We're going to have, what, 3 Midases? 3 Midases.
Should be 3.
On Talon.
So maybe I'll wait, because I think they're going to look to try and make a play off the back of the blink on Q. So they do see Dyrachyo farming top, which would be a huge kill.
Vision around this top side as well.
And they should get him. Stuck around for a little bit too long. Dyrachyo's been flawless so far, 17 minutes in. But Talon finally going to be able to close the door into the Chaos Knight. They are instant TPs coming through from Gladiators. Are they going to be fast enough to keep him alive? Sunray's out from Celery. Dyrachyo getting a lot of bonus health back with the life steal as well. Now the Supernova gives him firm control. Dyrachyo is all a bait, and now with Gladiators here, they can look to clean up. Jabs is going to end up going down. They'll be rewarded with the kill on Q, but Savage wants to turn the fight. The first fight for him, looking to get involved. He's got that Orchid ready in the arsenal, but it's still messy. Mikoto doesn't have the health pool to bite back as well. Now Ace, he wants to charge on full, but the song will stop him short. Savage is able to TP out, but Dyrachyo lives long enough. The boys come in full force, and that's a 3-for-1 in the end.
It's just those little things, right? Millimeters of difference. The chain control wasn't perfect before he was able to get the Phantasm off, which meant that you ended up hitting the wrong Phantasm illusion. Look at all that damage as well coming out from Celery. This is the reason why I'm saying, teams, I know it's been picked a fair amount already, but pick Phoenix more. Against a lot of these beefy heroes in these longer team fights, it really does shine.
It's another attempt potentially.
Yeah.
Underneath this Observe Ward.
There's no split now, but it's against the Radiance.
Should nonetheless, with all the magical damage, be able to bring him down.
The chance this time.
So again, this is the big thing we brought up in the draft, right? Like, Gladiators, you're playing with a lineup that is very cooldown reliant. So Talon, this is where you can look to really put some pressure onto the map. And it's going to be up to Quinn kind of to stall it out. I mean, you see instantly shoves out mid, it's going to force Talon to respond. And now we've got a little bit of break in the action. How do we feel about this going late game? Because your Gladiators, you look, again, 5v5 team fight looks super scary. But Talon feel like with their Midas, maybe they can compete up against this. Quinn? Nice silence, wow. was even
need to coil Q. He knows the kill threat's coming there from the Tiny, and yeah, the multiple Midases. Okay, ends up snapping the coil anyway. Yeah, the multiple Midases really do lean it slightly more towards Talon than what I would normally predict, and also just the fact that it's Q playing the Tiny, right? We've seen what this man is able to do. We've seen his mid to late game impact. You could kind of like the Muerta, honestly, become that legitimate fourth core for the team. So I really feel like it's going to be pretty damn even if it gets late.
That's going to be
the fact that Talon are playing around this ward as well, right? It's something that I was really wanting them to do. They knew with the kill that they were able to secure onto Ace that it was obvious that that sort of area was warded. So not only do they protect it, they also get rid of an observer ward of game and zone. But still, net worth is literally dead even.
And the reason why it was like that for quite some time was because of 23 Savage, but now it's given time for, Jabs. His Midas is continuing to pay off. He had a Blade Mail queued up for quite some time, but it's currently the Radius that he's changed his mind to. We are seeing he's looking for that Ultra Scale, which we have kind of seen from some of the offlane Wraith Kings, Radiance, Interceptor. I know earlier today, we got the kind of core Wraith King from Noticed on Virtus Pro, so a bit of a different choice here from Jabs, but yeah, like you said, still very close this game.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the Wraith King Ags is pretty significant this game. I mean, you consider the sort of heroes that you're playing alongside. Like, it probably means another Avatos combination, for example, if Q ends up dying, and that's a significant amount of burst damage. It means a lot more damage coming out from Ollie. Like, these sorts of things are super significant once it gets to the later stages. And again, the Midas is really starting to pay off now.
But they are. What about some of the support itemization? We've spoken a lot about Muerta having a very versatile item build. We see Tofu 4, 1, and 2, highest net worth out of the support. So he can kind of go for some different items to help out. We'll see how we can get involved off the back of the smoke here. Gladiators as the target. Q's currently going to show on the lane. They should know what smoke's going on though. Ace revealed with the Cinderbrew and the clap. So let's see whether they play accordingly now on Talon. Yeah, it's just an all retreat.
Not even defending this mid wave at all. They're letting Dyrachyo be the one to be able to take it out. They know something's up. They would much rather have better positioning or no positioning at all. They're just going to back off completely. So time wasted, more value for Midases. You know that Gaming Gladiators aren't farming. You're okay in general. And for the fact that their tier 1 tower mid lasted until 21.5 minutes, I think they're fairly satisfied.
Yeah, so I was going to...
Making a bit of a line being drawn on the map now, but I'm sure Jabs is saying, guys, just give me a little bit more time. 400 gold away from my Radiance. That'll be a real difference maker against this CK.
Are they looking for their own smoke here for Talon? What's the group up as
They want to, but yeah, like Jabs really just wants literally an extra 30 seconds. So
okay, so
what can you do to the lanes in that time?
Going to mention before, do you like the route from Tofu going the Lotus? Like, is there any other things? Okay.
Like, by far, I think it's the best item this game. Considering what you're up against, right? It means no targeted stun from the Wraith King, no slow from the Wraith King, no cold snap, no Orchid, no Decrepify. It's a lot of stuff that it protects you against. Even just the toss from Q as well. So these sorts of things are really going to be high value for them. I mean, even just the armor component as well, right? Against the Wraith King and the Naga Siren. Feels pretty good.
Some big item timings, though. Savage completes the heart.
Both teams.
And there's the Radiance as well for the Wraith King. So we are ready to go, and we're probably at a stage where we need to be looking towards Roche. I'd say Dire maybe struggle a little bit more at taking that. But Radiant, without a doubt, should be able to if they have a little bit more time. So it is going to be down bottom for the next 2 minutes. No one currently has too much vision set up in the area.
Quinn knows there's people nearby with that Nether Ward being placed down. So ends up just being able to poke and prod onto Q. He knows that unless Savage is there, there's no way he's going to die. And even then, he's got the Yule Scepter to be able to play around with for that Orchid. So it really is Q being the main hero that he needs to be worried about. I wonder if they're even making the call of, you know what, we wanted the Radiance on Jabs, now we want the Midas on Q before we make any sorts of plays. Hell, even if we end up dying, we're still going to be impacting our net worth positively. Not if he dies, though, and gives up a good amount of that unreliable gold.
Back-to-back smokes that might not work out.
Jabs
is going to act as a bait. Pops the smoke, of course. Can eat a lot of the spells. They haven't used too many big abilities, though. Mimble over to the left side. Savage going toe-to-toe. It's a pretty good supernova in the middle of the team fight. 23 needs to make the call of the retreat. They'll get out of range of the egg. It's a lot of abilities now used. Meanwhile, Jabs on the right side, though, does get assassinated. Can you still go for more from Gaming Gladiators? You don't have the greatest health pool on Dyrachyo.
all you've really got left is the Pierce the Veil on to Tofu. And he's got the Aghanim Shard as well to be able to play around with, so he can look to stand his ground in man fight, but yeah, like you said, they've got absolutely nothing else. No Dream Call, no Supernova, no Split, no Phantasm even to be able to make plays around. So the fact that, you know, a Wraith King dies, not the greatest, still the very long cooldown on the reincarnation, but he's going to be back up. He's still got the Midas ticking. So I think he's generally okay with things. And he's going to be the one acting as that bait a lot of the time. You can see immediately after that, he queues up the Blade Mail, just making sure that, you know what, if you're going to commit this much onto me, not only are you getting burned, you're also probably going to die.
Really have the lanes in a good position to make something out of the map here, Talon. Have to pick off onto Tofu. They're going to look to maybe connect to top as well. They've got this lane shoved out. Mid's going to be pushed out as well, so they can, I mean, you still got, what, 50 seconds with Egg on cooldown, 57 with the Primal Split, so you can continue to posture pretty aggressively inside Dire's jungle.
Yeah, vision isn't amazing right now for Talon, especially considering it did just turn into nighttime. I would have loved if Ollie was able to, for example, get an Observer Ward behind that top tier 2 tower just to be able to play around. But you know that Jabs isn't going to be joining in for the next little bit, right? Like, it's still another 40 seconds until he's going to have that reincarnation back and available. So I assume he just wants to get that Blade Mail before he joins the rest of the boys. But I was really expecting perhaps a little bit more emphasis onto, you know, putting some damage into this tier 2 top.
That's so crazy to see. Triple Midas and one on a support tiny, a 4 tiny.
Let's go.
Like, what are they doing? This is just classic Talon stuff, man. Let's go late game. Let's
ultimate fake and Q, bro.
A lot of people have mentioned, you know, Jabs are very greedy offlaner. You play Ultra Elite, 3 cores. Why not have a 4th core involved as well? So, a bit of a difference on some of these upcoming fights, Celery, with that 2nd level in the Supernova. We've seen eggs have been very difficult for Talon to address, and I do not think that's really going to change unless it's a poor placement of the egg inside the fights or Savage again uses Song to deal with it.
Once it gets later on, I think they're going to be a lot more capable of doing it. Like, Jabs will probably go maybe a BKB, maybe a Blink Dagger, but I'm expecting an AC to be coming as well in his future, just to be able to provide that little bit of extra attack speed both for himself and the rest of the team, and provide a little bit of extra protection as well against the likes of that CK.
It's a huge...
Pretty huge himself. He's got 4k HP now on Duraccio, so it was hard to kill him before. Imagine now.
Big boy. You do compare him, though, up against the other carry in Savage. It's about to be a Butterfly, which could be a huge item timing. We have seen he's had some difficulties with, like, entering some of these team fights. But this game has really not changed in regard to the status. We've only got 19 kills, 1,000 net worth lead, and it's been like that for 10+ minutes.
Q once again prioritizing his own mobility. He's got the Ogre Seal Totem as his tier 3 neutral item. So a very nice one to be able to have, just to provide that little bit of extra quick speed to be able to get in with the Blink Dagger, even just as a tool to be able to get out of that calling as well. Feels really nice.
Dude, Ace is a Manta queued up. You want your own, like, illusion spam of waves? I can do that too. Radiance Manta. All right. Very interesting.
Universal Hero as well. Feels good.
True. So crazy. All right. I wonder what his item's going to be after that.
His top ward is just out of range as well, yeah. Thank you very much, Buzz, for picking this one up.
What do we feel like is realistic here for Talon to be able to get off the back of the Aegis? Who do we even give it to, firstly? Is there a preference?
I don't know, actually. I mean, maybe they feel like Savage needs it just to be able to play aggressively more with this Butterfly that he's freshly picked up, right? Like, if you've got all of this survivability, then you got to do something with it, right? And I feel like he's no stranger to being the one that dives in super deep. Looks like they'll be able to get the Wisdom Rune as well. It always feels like Talon are just waiting for, like, one more item, one more thing. You know, you can go for a little bit more of an aggressive-oriented draft, but at the end of the day, you're going to default back to what's got you to this stage. And, well, 3 Midases and, you know, a little bit of a slower mid-game really does feel like the Talon way. I'm just a little worried that perhaps when they had that previous big timing up top where there were no ultimates on Gaming Gladiators, that they didn't get enough out of the map. Still, almost a BKB on Mikoto, which will feel real nice for him.
I do like the fact that we see Gem already currently on on Gladiators compared to Radiant. And when it's going to come down to with such an even game on who's going to be able to get that jump, you have some very important heroes in their ultimates, and Talon have this potential to blow them up full from zero. This is a very interesting pathing from Dyrachyo as well. Jabs is about to be cut off. Now, it, of course, does have reincarnation, so the instant rainbow TPs are out.
He's committing?
Dyrachyo did buy the BKB prior, so if required, he can use it to retreat. What is the call?
They're walking through a creep wave.
Savage is charging. Quinn's away from the team as well. You won't have the puck for the moment. It's getting a bit messy, though.
Yeah. I think they're really just wanting to bait out a few of these big team fight ultimates. Both teams acting as that. You know, can we get the song out of them? Can we get the Bruce split out of them? Can we get anything? But neither team is going to be taking the bait.
I see. With those TPs down to bottom, let's see what Gladiators can do on the map now. This is going to give them at least a bit of advantage with their mobility. We do see instantly Talon moving 2 heroes to top.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense, right? You could sacrifice one lane, but not even that, actually. It's going to be Jabs TPing towards that mid. He is working towards that AC that I was talking about as well. So I really like this. I was considering that because of how effectively he was being controlled in that past fight, that he might be considering a Blink Dagger or a BKB, but this really does feel like A, an egg killer, B, a puck killer with the minus armor, and C, just protection against the Chaos Knight.
One man we haven't spoken about too much this game is Quinn on the puck. Of course, he's a very comfortable hero, master tier with it. We've seen him take over games in the past. The hero that we don't really get too often at the moment in the meta, but he has a very interesting item queued up in the Mjolnir.
Sure. I mean, going up against an Argasar, it always feels pretty good. He's already got that early Aghanim Shard as well, so he's going to be launching out a lot of attacks, getting a lot of those procs, basically guaranteeing a Maelstrom proc every single time that he uses the phase shift. Plus, it's only going to be one proc, has that little internal cooldown.
We're going to get a fight, yeah, with these Aegis. It's just not going to be a bunch of posturing and people just farming.
You'd hope so, wouldn't
I'd
you?
hope so.
I mean, what's Savage got coming out to it? BKB. I mean, if that says I want to fight, like that is really the one that I'm expecting to see them try and rally around a little bit here on Talon.
But they've got to get usage out of this butterfly. Dyrachyo is already halfway towards the MKB. This is a big spike for them. And they currently see Savage away from the team, so they're going to smoke in the opposite direction. Oli might be the first point of contact. He's going to continue running to the left side, so maybe they'll get a juicier kill instead.
Yeah, they've got BKBs though, and they've currently got no way to be able to have that BKB piercing disable right now. Quinn still just level 18.
Seller, detection. That's a little bit... What's the call going to be? Mikoto turns super early use of the egg. They don't really have many heroes to protect them. Mikoto with the alacrity. I mean, it's a big opportunity if Savage wants the song to get some more heroes now. Dai want to fight. They're coming in. Over to the northern side, Dyrachyo assassinated Jabs. So that was a reincarnation used early on as Ace jumps in the middle. Dyrachyo's going to look to get the second life out of Jabs as well as Savage's song will do nothing. 4v4 at the moment. Gladiators, can they look to get more as well as Savage is by himself? Talon, they're not in a position to protect him as GG find a big kill. They're going to be able to surround him on this second life, and Quinn will force away the reinforcements. Savage has the BKB to protect himself momentarily, but look at Ace guiding Mikoto on the backline. That sets up for Quinn's jump, and Orchid will prevent the spell casting, but the dead shot drags him back to Dyrachyo, and Ace isn't done just yet. Deep inside the base they go. They might need a toss out. Q, can he protect Savage? They've got the drain. Oli, he'll keep 23 alive for the moment, but there is going to be no response from Talon, and finally there is a big break from Dire.
There is, and I mean, it's unfortunate. Oh, they're still looking like they want to try fighting here on Savage. Again, the Avatos combo was available. Jabs is coming back up.
Savage, can you fight this? I mean, you really don't want to use this Mikoto buyback. You're relying on Oli and Tiny to get you out of danger. Savage gets some distance. Quinn's going to jump to the backline as well, but the spell's still on cooldown for Q. Yours in snare. Avalanche is up in a couple seconds. Dyrachyo's going to try and prevent Q from holding Quinn into place. And meanwhile, these buildings are full. They've held the buyback from Mikoto, but there's still a bit of an opportunity to get more kills as Quinn easily jumps and blows up Jabs, and all of a sudden, this game, it's out of control.
Yeah, it's blown wide open, and it goes back to the tiniest of things. They had the glyph for the tier 2 tower that they were fighting underneath. Maybe that extra multi-shot would have also cleared out the creep wave and prevented them from being able to take this tier 3 tower. So little things like that really do add up a whole lot more. They're even able to lay down some vision on this top side of the Radiant base, and they haven't cleared it out just yet. So they know exactly the fact that they are leaving the base. They're not going to be holed up, being played a little scared, and this is really what I was worried about, the fact that with the Aegis, before they hit some of these really scary timings on Gaming Gladiators, they just didn't get enough out of it.
Dude, that was all without an MKB on Dyrachyo. This guy is having an incredible showing. He is nullified Jabs' impact. 2-6-0 from the offlane Wraith King. He's gone for this Radiance, AC queued up, but we haven't felt his impact. And just Dyrachyo is killing him multiple times inside these team fights. He's such a menace. Level 20 now, and with that big item, it does not get easier for Talon.
And you just saw how well Ace was able to deal with the Naga illusions as well, right? Like he's probably as tanky as he's gonna get on 23 Savage. Like he's going into a Scythe next. This isn't a Skadi game for the Naga Siren, right? You're farmed enough. You need to be able to do some damage rather than just be survivable. But it takes so much damage from that Dispel Magic from the Brewmaster.
And dude, they killed the egg without anyone else there. Like that start of the fight for Talon where you didn't have to commit too heavily to get a big hero. Like it's not only the egg, but it's the Sunray as well from Celery. But we might see have a lot of impact inside this smoke engagement. Not a lot of heroes in Savage. That's the real Naga. Duke Savage pops the BKB, no messing around. He bought out too. This is a Hex now completed for 23.
It's also a Mjolnir now finished up by Quinn. That damage from the puck is going to be super significant. He's got an AC coming out to him as well on the Brew. What did he basically buy? Octarine, never mind.
Dude, he's so farmed.
Yeah.
Oh my god, Quickening Charm on top of it. One of the better neutral items for the Brewmaster.
Wouldn't hate seeing an Axe from him just to have that permanent Storm Brewling out.
So it's
just taking over the map.
They are not stopping as well. Double siege wave. A force Talon back to base.
Even an aggressive glyph coming through here, wanting to protect this wave as much as possible.
Seen previously, the team fight ultimates have been disastrous for Talon inside the fight. They're going to jump Jabs again to start. Should be able to kill the first life without committing too heavily. What can Talon do to protect Jabs on the respawn? Get some separation to the right side. There's the song. They can help protect Jabs, but do they go back in afterwards?
Got a toss on Q.
They're so hesitant.
They're not going to get anything.
Oh, wow. I mean, this is just some incredible 5v5 team for gaming. We're seeing these big ultimates just be such a concern for Talon. They don't have ways to address them at the moment. They're going to try and make a fight occur with your Phantasm split on cooldown, but these are for 40 seconds.
They smoked under the ward.
Okay.
They know it's coming. They're just backing off completely. Might even be looking to go through the Twin Gate and get the hell out of there, but looks like it's the high ground that they're wanting to play around, banking on the fact that Roshan might have respawned. It's a really long one. Probably the longest they could have possibly hoped for on Gaming Gladiators, and you don't want to walk up into this.
Quinn's in a great spot. Pops the smoke, gets the information. They're going to use the ward as well. Q will find a pretty good initiation onto the Phoenix. There's just no follow-up.
No boys.
Salary's okay. Q's jumped into the lion's den, and Talon don't want to follow him to death. They'll look to retreat to the southern side. Dyrachyo's gone far too forward. It's a big kill to the Chaos side if they're going to be able to find it. A Supernova dropped on the Hex. They're going to try and turn to deal with the Egg. I don't know if they got the right clicks. Egg will pop at the last second. Makoto's in some danger. Dyrachyo with the instant buyback into the middle, but Savage, he'll give them an opportunity to retreat. Ace, he actually canceled the TP. The Brewling stops Savage from getting out. They cannot chase the Naga Siren down to the south. Quinn, he got Makoto as well. A disastrous fight. The buyback from Dyrachyo, huge. The Egg even better. And now Gaming Gladiators can look to walk it down and go for the finishing blow. Savage wants to bring one man with a grave, but he won't even do that.
They got absolutely nothing left as well. Q doing his best to try and delay the push, but Ace is everywhere, man. Topping the net worth for Gaming Gladiators right now, and he's being the absolute bane of this Naga Siren's existence. no song save, no Naga illusions in the early game, even just the Radiance for that aspect there.
2 fights apparently is all you need, especially with the caliber of this team. You give them an advantage and they will completely take over the map and not look back from there. About to be mega creeps for Talon to deal with.
They're going to hold on, but still another 20 seconds until you're going to get any sort of cause back into this game. And they went for a slightly more aggressive route, but then the greed took over. The classic mentality of wanting to go into that late game. SEA plays it better than a lot of other teams and a lot of other regions, but it's just not enough.
Shaz is like, take my life instead. But they will just turn to the throne. Makoto's back. You've got, I mean, Savage in fight, but it's far too long. Couple seconds too long. In fact, in gaming, Gladiators will be rewarded with their gameplay with a first map victory 39 minutes in.
And it's a convincing one as well, right? It seemed pretty even in the early-ish game. They got off to a good start, but man, it just goes to show why these guys have won pretty much every LAN that they've attended this year. What is it, an 80% success rate, just coming in 4th at Riyadh, knocked out by these boys on talent. But other than that, it has been pretty solid all around. Ollie, just the blank 1,000-yard stare coming through. He knows that they had the opportunity to be able to come into this game, and that Wraith King in the offlane didn't work out quite as well as they were expecting.
No, it did not at all. Unfortunately, we weren't. You want to compare Ace to Jabs on this Brewmaster hero that has, we've seen had a lot of success in this, so far. Road to the International in the previous tournaments before it as well. Ace and the boys need a couple of fights to be able to get this game 1 victory, and in the end, they looked incredibly clean with all their team fighting spells. So Gladiators, a game advantage. Let's see what the panel has to say about it though.
Game and Gladiators claim game 1 here against the side of Talent Esports, getting a little bit of revenge for what happened at the Riyadh Masters. However, the most interesting thing about this is the triple strength heroes that they utilized. But we're going to break it down, find out exactly what happened. And to do so, I've got some double strength boys, the big beefy homies. Lizard, Gods, what's happening? Gods, talk to me about this game, right? Greed is good? 9999999?
Look, they got to work on whatever cheat codes they're putting in, because all the Midases and gold in the world couldn't save them here. It just felt like their timings were all off. Like, you have this like Naga, and then everyone else is like, let's get Midases because this game's going to drag.
Yep.
But then suddenly Naga's ready to fight, and you've got 3 teammates with a Midas. It's like, you look around and it's like all this gold and not into items that help you fight.
It's like that catch-22, right? Like, your Naga isn't ready to fight, so you're buying a Midas, but once you have that Midas, your Naga is ready to fight, but you aren't because you have a Midas, right? Yeah. At least it was minute 25, Midas, not minute 35. However, the team that did buy it on the support lost again in like 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah, seems to be the case that like you have to be a bit more active, right? I mean, we saw today when we see teams like Liquid, teams like the side of Team Spirit earlier on, always very active items. Maybe it's a damage item here or there, but nonetheless something that'll do something immediately once you purchase it.
Yeah, and I think one of the big interesting things for me with this game is, like, yeah, they had all these minuses and that limited the gold they had to fight. But even without the minuses, I think we just saw that there was a draft in the game in Gladiator side that was going to be hard to beat. Like, I was looking at this like, oh, they're kind of just getting away with farming on all these cores. Like, Talent, surely they're just going to win this game with Naga. Wraith King's got Midas, Invoker's a good late game hero. But they just had no way to ever team fight. The Brewmaster plus Phoenix Puck. Like, there was one fight that Phoenix went in and popped Supernova and instantly died to an Invoker Alacrity, but they still dominated the team fight because they have so much other tools to use. They have the Primal Split, they have the Puck Coil. There was just no way that Talent, regardless of items, could ever actually win a team fight.
It was one of those difficult situations where, sometimes I look at games and you ask, what can you do, right, in a losing scenario? What happens if things aren't going perfectly? And like God said, not only was there not that much team fight available for Talent, but Lizard damage as well was a bit of a problem for Talent Esports.
I don't know. Maybe this Naga was the crucial problem for them, the way they played around her. Maybe not the hero itself, but the way they played, because they got pretty much when the draft concluded, remember what we were talking about, they got every hero that they usually pick. Like Pugna is hero they picked in the last 5 games. Tiny, they are the only team that really shines on him as well. Invoker is usually banned out against Mikoto. Like, they got everything they wanted, but it doesn't really mesh up together. Like, the Pugna usually has a different mid, like a Storm or a Bristle on offlane, something that he can use himself as a battery for, right? Like, in this game, there's nothing of such sort. Like Wraith King, Naga, not really. So they had some issues here, and perhaps the cohesion of the heroes wasn't as strong as usual.
Yeah, even the Invoker, like who you putting the Alacrity on, like it doesn't really
On
work
himself.
Naga. Yeah, yeah. It worked out to kill the egg once, but it's not. They didn't really have the synergy to win the game with their draft as much as it looked like. Oh, you put these 5 heroes together, as you said, and it's like their comfort zone. But
I feel like if they had something different than a Naga, maybe they could have snowballed the game, because that's something that their heroes do extremely well. You have this Pugna that's constantly hitting the tower, constantly blasting it, right? And if you try to poke, defend, there's always Tiny to rotate behind, toss someone back, catch them. It's really difficult to deal with, but you don't have a carry. You're waiting for that carry to get farm. And once he did get like Manta Orchid, it wasn't really that useful in fights.
Let's talk about the team that obviously won the game. Game and Gladiators 1-0 up right now, a step closer towards getting themselves into their playoff berth in the upper bracket. This Muerta of theirs has been... This needs to go away. This has to be banned out. Not just for the scaling later on in the game, but there was some point where he got a kill on 23 Savage in the laning phase. And I was like, wow, Muerta does a lot of damage. My goodness, you need some kind of plan to deal with this. And so far, we haven't really seen a plan from any of the teams that have allowed it to go through here in the playoffs.
yeah, you have this hero, you can just first pick it. If it's a good carry, Muerta game, you play as the carry. Otherwise, it pairs with any of your kind of classic offlaners here. It gave Brewmaster the best like game and lane possible. The Brewmaster was doing so much, and it was in large part due to that Muerta. That hero just has a dominant laning stage, and I don't know what, there aren't really any obvious picks, I feel like, that give the Muerta a hard time in lane.
Yeah, I feel that both teams really got what they wanted, but we might not see Muerta or Brewmaster in the next upcoming match. Because, yeah, you gave away the Pugna and Tiny won against them, you can leave them in again. But Brew, man, Muerta enabled him, sure, but that hero is just way too difficult to deal with. Once he gets the Octarine core, he has his Brewlings every single fight. It's very difficult to play.
And I believe they picked up the Brew pretty late in the draft, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that to me is kind of crazy, because they had a lot of bans later on.
23, yeah. The 23 Brew, yeah. I suspect maybe Talon Esports might have actually wanted to have the Brew themselves, right? You're playing into the CK. It felt like they were angling in that direction. And we saw the last pick on the Naga took a really long time. I think they were like, oh, crap. You know that situation that happens, you're angling for one certain pick, it goes away, the entire plan is upended, you have to start from scratch now. Because I'm pretty sure, looking at the way that the game unfolded, I'm not so sure that they had the Wraith King offlane in plan from the start.
Yeah, I think they drafted really well until maybe that Naga pick, because having the flex between Wraith King being either safe lane or off lane is amazing, because you get to that 24th pick, the final pick of the draft, where you see the entire me team, and you can pick so many more heroes when you have that flexibility of the Wraith King. So maybe the plan was to pick an offlaner like a Brewmaster and then have maybe a bit more of an aggressive, well-rounded draft. But at the same time, it's talent. They love playing 50, 60-minute games. They like greedy carries. I just don't think Naga was the right greedy carry to pick there.
Yeah, feels like Naga does end up falling off a little bit too often, so we do not have a victory for Talon Esports to bring you. It's Game and Gladiators, who are ascendant right now and are one step closer to progressing into the playoffs in the upper bracket side of things, where they will already find some pretty cool contemporaries. Liquid, Spirit have already made their way into that side of things, and of course we saw Virtus Pro dispatching TSM later. It's only one game up though, and unfortunately for Talon, it has been 2-0s the entire way. But if there is a team that I would probably back to be able to come back after a difficult loss, it'll probably be in Talon, because they make a habit of it and they've done it throughout the entire year.
It happened kind of recently, didn't it?
Yeah, Riyadh.
Yeah.
Well,
some very hot lands, it happened.
What happened during the group stage?
Yeah.
This tournament.
They
started
0-4. The next game 4-0.
Yeah. No, this is a team that knows how to bounce back. They've had some, very, very painful losses. So, I don't think they're a team that gets completely rattled. They've played they've got a lot of experience at this point. I think, Sambi as a coach has been kind of in the hot seat when it comes to the SEA Dota region. He's been the premier coach of the region for the longest time. So he's the kind of guy that you love to have on your side when it comes to kind of bouncing back from a game like this.
Yeah. They went from 0-4 to 4-4 in the group stages. They can definitely at least even out this series, right?
And what are we making of Game and Gladiators? We saw in that video earlier on that Quinn was mentioning that the atmosphere internally within the team isn't as commanding as it was when they were on top of the world. Looking at the game so far, at the beginning of the group stage, it was still a little bit shaky. What do we make of it here, Lizard? From day one until now, is Game back to their former glory states?
I'm not so sure. I still feel it's a little bit shaky. It's not as, one team, it's gonna be funny to say because they just lost, but EG, when I look at them, they have a lot of flair. They make some mistakes here and there, but they're playing the game in their own way. That's what I saw from GG before. Like they would always play in their own fashion, on their own way. Here, I feel like, yeah, they have some heroes like Muerta on position 4 on Tofu, but I don't feel the same commanding force that they had throughout the season. That's why they didn't really win the last couple of tournaments, right?
What do you think they need to fix, Gods, in order to get to that point in time? Because let's be honest, you need that kind of force of nature if you want to go far in the international.
Yeah, I think a part of it is about maybe refining like an identity that works for them, because a lot of their dominance, was earlier towards those, first couple of majors, and since then with the patch changes, it felt like they came in with this group stage with a few different heroes and ideas that didn't instantly find them success. Then they kind of resorted to like spamming some stuff like Necro for Quinn. So it seems like figuring out what their hero pool is going to be, what their best strats are going to be, because it feels like we've seen just a lot of different looks from them game to game, and not like one key idea of like, this is who we are, this is how we're going to win games.
Yep, that's the one thing we need to see more of from the side of Gaming Gladiators if they want to return to their former glory and have a shot at claiming an Aegis, the first one for everybody involved in the roster. But they can't count their chickens before they hatch, remember? We are still in the seeding round of the group stages. This just determines where you start in the playoffs next weekend. We still are on the road to the international, so a lot of work to be done. And what do you gentlemen think? Which kind of teams benefit the most from this more elongated schedule that we have for this year's international?
I think the teams who just rely less on like the momentum, because the breaks mean you have more time to kind of sit back and study. So the teams with, every team has coaches these days, but I think some of the more analytical teams kind of like Gaming Gladiators, like Tundra, can do very well. I think some of those maybe like Eastern European teams who just ride the wave, like the Spirit lower bracket run, it's a lot harder to do that because, I think Spirit's one of the top teams here. They don't need the momentum necessarily. But in the past, past TIs, you've had teams who just ride through the lower bracket and just playing day after day and they just keep winning. But now you get these 3-4 days off. I think momentum plays less
you get to shake them up a little bit in pubs, tip them in pubs a little bit. I don't know, maybe Tundra are gonna overthink things. They're such nerds in this game, right? That they're gonna make so many grand ideas that they might even clash at the end. I'm just kidding. I'm sure that they'll do just fine.
One of the things that I have noticed very well coming out of Gaming Gladiators when they play Dota, just before we went to the game itself, we're talking about Boxy, right? And how good his positioning on the map can be. When gaming is at their best, it almost feels like they're playing with hacks. Like they know where you're going to be ahead of time. And I remember when Quinn was speaking about the new map, do you think that might be the issue, that they haven't yet fully mastered the map to the degree where they can make those 100% analytical, predictive moves, and then that's the reason why they're not shining as easily?
Maybe they have demanded that statement already in the last game. If you think about a couple of movements that they've made without any words, without any vision, I believe teams are adapting to everything that Valve, that Ice Rock throws at them way too fast now. Like I don't even know what you can change for teams to take more than a couple of months to adapt to. Just remember 23 Savage in this last match on Naga Siren using that scan into the song, but also remember that those two that have smoked went exactly for him. They knew exactly where he was, so.
Yeah, it was almost very impressive by Gladiators that they knew where to find him, but then just as much, 23 read the move and saw it coming. So, the map is bigger. It feels like, you're not going to be able to get away with all this greedy farming on Nagas and TBs and stuff. But like we saw it earlier today with Shopify and Arteezy, he was farming Ancients and constantly would get hunted down as if Spirit knew exactly where he is. So even with the bigger map, there obviously is a lot more to farm.
How do you feel about that, by the way? Your NA is a bit in shambles. Are you okay?
Look, NA, we love farming neutral creeps. Pick up the Wraith King, get the Scaly Boys.
So you don't need the Aegis as long as the creeps are killed?
Yes, exactly.
So, is there some extra reward for most GPM, most creeps killed?
Look, all I'm saying is when Iron Talon comes back, NA is rising back to the top.
NA is not the only greedy region that exists in the world. Talent Esports, the sole representatives of Southeast Asia, played a very greedy game one and it didn't necessarily go according to plan. Let's find out if they'll be a bit more reserved and can find the answer to unlock Gaming Gladiators yet again as we go into our second game between these two. And to bring you that action, we have Aries and Daynark. Australian boys, take it away.
Boys, what is up? We've got Daynark and Aries here again to cover game number 2 of Gaming Gladiators versus Talent Esports. And, well, game 1, it was looking really damn even until about that 34-minute mark, wasn't it? Literally neck and neck in terms of both net worth, win probability, everything, but it just took one fight from Gaming Gladiators to really kick the door down, take out that first set of racks, and then it felt like Talon were on the back foot. If they're going for this pick-off style draft, they can't allow that to happen. They got to always be playing for a little bit ahead, because at the end of the day, if you get to late game, team fight wins Dota. And well, we'll see how that's going to be impacted with this second draft. Exactly the same setup. Radiant again for Talon, Gaming Gladiators with the first pick once again.
We see no Phoenix this time as well. So that one is going to be taken out of the arsenal here from Gaming Gladiators. Had a very good showing out of Cellar. And overall at TI, Denok, we have seen there has not been a team that has won the international starting in the lower bracket. Gladiators, they're one game away of putting Talon down there, and it would be a miracle run.